Hello. Uh, Hello, everyone. Good morning, Sarah. Oh my goodness. Cake668. Thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the Blue Jay Band. How is everybody doing this lovely Sunday? How are you all doing? Welcome on in. I am in a super good mood. I was just loving chilling with that vibe, that beat. Feeling pretty good. Pretty excited to get explaining, get into the tool mod here. Um, you're in pain. Oh no, I can relate to that as well. I am also in pain. I'm sorry to hear that you are in pain. That's no good. I got eat. You got eat. What does that mean? Yesterday I did take the day off due to pain, due to life, not feeling up to it. But I'm here today. I'm excited to hang out with y'all. Yeah, it's never any good when anybody's in pain. I just piced and just changed top on ouch. Uh-oh. I'm not sure exactly what you're saying there, but ouchie is never good. It's never good to be in pain. So hopefully you can get rested. Give your pain a rest. Give yourself a chance to be rested. Yeah. Sarah, how are you doing today? I got my ears pierced. And oh yeah, ears piercing. And you changed? Did you change them? Is that what you're saying? Um, Getting your ears pierced is definitely definitely painful. But the good thing is it heals normally pretty quickly. So unless it's cartilage takes a little bit longer to heal, but still, you just got to be on top of taking care of it, keeping it clean every day, rotating your earrings, whatever you have, whether it be hoops or like the studs. You just have to make sure you're moving them so they're not, so they're staying clean and don't get stuck in place, basically. So, yeah. Yeah, but that's fun. Getting your ears pierced is always fun. I got studs and I turn them every day. Good. Yeah. I mean, usually when they do piercings, they'll do studs. That's pretty common, but oh, I see, Keiki. Just be sure to take proper care and keep it sanitized. It'll be healed before you know it. Yes, that is true. Yeah, just got to keep them clean, keep them rotating, and try and wash your hands before any time you touch them. That's also important. I'm doing okay, much better than yesterday. Thanks for asking, Emily. Well, of course I'm going to ask. It's great to see you here. Definitely great to see you here. So yeah, I was trying to figure out what we're going to do today. And we're gonna kind of explore the tool mod. I know a lot of people have questions. I know some other streamers have also done the tool mod stream, just to help to learn themselves sometimes, but also to help others. So that was I thought, we can try and tackle that today. I think so far my brain power seems like I could probably handle that. So that's what today's agenda is. I don't know if we can make a full 2, 3, 4 hour stream, however long I end up going. I don't know if we can make it that long going over Tool, but that's going to be fun trying, right? So, yeah, we do have our daily question, which I have to do the command. If you own a restaurant, what type of food would it serve? So, nothing to do with Tool or building or Sims or anything. Just it's a random question. I also like talking about food a lot. So I thought, if I ever have trouble thinking of a daily question, you can bet that it's going to be something about food. So if I owned a restaurant, this is actually, I hadn't even thought of this. I hadn't even thought of the answer. I love this question. I love cooking. Awesome. So maybe about 10 years ago, I really got into the raw foods movement. So it's basically, I can't remember if it's 118 degrees, I think it is, where you don't cook anything, cook or heat anything over 118 degrees. So it largely is a fruitarian, vegetarian diet. And I got really, really into it. I was completely raw, 99% raw for like over 6 months. And I loved it. But we don't have anything like it in my area. And so I actually was planning, I had some partners that I was working with, two other people who were really into raw foods. We really wanted to open a raw food business of some sort. And so we actually really got the ball rolling on opening a raw foods restaurant. So that is my real life story of what type of food it would have. I would love 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 to own a sort of organic raw food. So it's vegan. It's also vegan. Some raw foodists will eat meat, like sushi or something like that, but it's not as common. Like if you're following the raw food diet, um, pretty much you're going to be a vegan. So that's my real food answer, real life answer of what I would open as a restaurant. We had a space picked out. I had met with food vendors. Oh, I forgot to put the gate up for the cats, so I don't know if they're gonna end up running in here or not. But now I wouldn't open a restaurant because there's no way I could there's no way I could keep up with it. That was before I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. So nowadays, I don't know. I think Indian. I think we have one Indian restaurant in my town and it is so delicious and I think that would be something I would like to eat every day. And so I would open an Indian restaurant. Wow, sounds very nice, which is great and super interesting. I would love to draw in a page, like it would draw in patrons from all over. Yeah, I'm kind of, I mean, I'm in the Midwest, and it is a kind of earthy, crunchy town, city, that I live in. So I think there would be interest for it, but whether or not it would be enough to sustain a whole restaurant, maybe something more like a juice bar with some snacks and kind of, something like that, I think could have success. But of course, now with COVID times, the restaurants are really, really taking big hits. But yeah, I think it was really fun to learn about. It was really fun to cook. It's real safe. You don't have a lot of the cross contamination issues. If you're not growing your own sprouts, things like that, then there's, none of that to worry about. So, yeah, that's tough. A great point. Locations and demographics are everything. Definitely. Like, if I were in a big city, it might be definitely more easy to get going, but yeah, so that's if any of y'all or like I picked Indian food because that's what I want to eat every day, so that's what I would say for a restaurant now. Pizza would be a good one. I would like to own a pizza place. Um, yeah. So that is what the daily question is today. Again, I couldn't really think of a great one, so I went with food. Like, you know, anytime you can. Let's just go with food. Let's just talk about food. I could have a foodie stream. Like I love playing The Sims. I love hanging out with y'all and playing The Sims and talking about The Sims and everything like that. But I easily could talk about food all the time too. So maybe we'll do that someday. Probably not, but maybe. So yeah, um, Tool. I did make some notes for myself today. I did watch. There are some links for what did I call it? Info. I made a new command today. There's two links. So the first one is for the tool basics of the tool mod by Twisted Mexi himself. So Twisted Mexi made the tool mod. for The Sims. And then the second video is his tips and tricks video. So those are two super awesome, super awesome resources for you out there that are made by the person who made this mod. So, he knows all the ins and outs of it. He can answer any questions. He does have a Discord. He does encourage people to contact him on Twitter if they have issues or concerns. So, he's really, really involved. Like, it's not like, a lot of people find the tool mod really intimidating, and I totally get that. Like, true story, I installed the mod like 2 years ago, and I tried it, and I was like, no way, Jose. Like, this is too tough. This is really tough, and there's math involved. Let's put it that way. There's math involved. I'm not a math person. It doesn't have to be that complicated. And I was so, so, so determined to use it that um, posture check cake. Thank you so much for redeeming that. Everybody, check your posture. It's a great time. I'm going to reseat myself just to make sure I'm in a good posture. I am sitting a little bit forward because I know over here, right here, my green screen gets really crabby if I lean against my chair. So I'm trying to sit a little bit forward, which is probably better for me. Tags Wildchild, welcome on in. It's great to see you here, my friend. How are you doing today? Welcome to the Blue Jay Band. I just joined but have to disappear again. I might return later. No worries, D. Do what you gotta do, real life. I think I'd open some kind of desserts and baked goods cakes of cafe of sorts, with rotating specials like apple pies, ice cream, cakes, cookies, and then beverages that could pair well with those specials, like apple cider, hot chocolate, coffee. All of it would be made from scratch, of course, and made with fresh ingredients. That sounds so fun. Um, I definitely would have blood sugar issues if I owned that kind of a store. I literally have a posture like a strange gremlin. Yeah, me too. That's kind of why I included it as one of the points redemptions, is because I tend to really, like, when I'm hanging out, I tend to really sit, like, you can't see, but I'm like up against my back, and then I'll like lean my head back like this. So I'm not even holding up my head, which sometimes is nice. Like, I specifically got a chair that has, this backrest. You can't see it because it's green screen, it has fabric on it, but um, somebody with neck issues, sometimes not hold it, like having to not hold up my head is kind of nice. Um, so, so yeah, but I tend to, I should be putting a lumbar support, like a pillow or a towel or something behind me. I really should. I really should. Because some of that posture stuff can, really influence pain and even headaches. Um, yeah, now it's not happy because I'm sitting real close to it. But okay, y'all. We were literally talking about you and how much we appreciate you in one of our last streams. Yes, we do. Yeah, Tex is such an awesome supporter of the community. If you're not following her on Twitter, definitely go follow her. I see her in Simarchy's stream all the time. Dr. Gluon, I've seen her in. She's all over the place supporting the community. So, um, yeah, just an awesome person. So it's great to see you in the stream here today. Um, Sarah, I was thinking when you said about your cafe with baked goods and coffee and such that my grandmother, great grandmother, owned a bakery. So I come from a line of bread bakers. Um, my mom and my aunts, some years ago, maybe 15, 20 years ago, were looking at opening a bakery not in the town I'm in now, but just about 20, 25 minutes away. And um, I would have loved to work there. I'm glad now that it didn't all pan out, because I can't eat gluten anymore, and that I used to make fresh bread every day, mostly because it was a cost thing. Like, it's cheaper to make bread and better. Like it tastes way better from scratch. And I just got in a routine. Like I had sourdough that I was constantly rotating, and flour. I went through flours pretty quickly, so excuse me, I didn't have to worry about them like sitting on the shelf or anything like that. So uh, I used to make fresh bread every day for a number of years, and um, now I have to be gluten free. So that was a very tough thing to not be able to make bread. And of course, I transitioned. I try to transition into making gluten free bread and learning about how the different ingredients help the different flours and things like that. Like xanthan gum is kind of your binder, but then you can also use like flax or, there's different things you can do, but it's not the same. Gluten-free bread is not the same. Heck yes, that sounds so cool. This is a silly question, but is there gluten-free flour? If there is, I'm sure it's expensive. Yes. So there are, rice flour is the most common one. Sophia, welcome on in. It's great to see you today. Happy Sunday. Um, yeah, there's gluten flour, rice flour, white rice flour is the most common one, but then there are tons of other different kind of alternative flours. Oat flour, I just made a chocolate chip cookie recipe that has oat flour and rice flour. Um, Trying to think of what else. There's just so many. There's so many flours that are gluten free that are substitutes. But they have a little bit different texture and bean flour. So like bean flour is kind of when you like if you were to taste raw dough, it tastes kind of green or like a vegetable. When you cook it, that really tames down. There's soy flour, which adds some more protein. Just things like that. There's all sorts of different options. Yeah, so it really becomes a science at that point of baking, and I just didn't enjoy it as much. It's more of a science, whereas with normal baking, I could kind of throw in what I needed to throw in. I could tell, like, I'd really gotten to where I could tell by the feel of it or the look of it how if it needed anything, and gluten free isn't like that, at least in my experience. Gluten free tends to be a little heavier and wetter, and like you can't develop the gluten, so it doesn't get that certain look that you do with normal bread. So it's just kind of it's a whole different thing. Um, you're melting. Is it hot where you are? I don't even know how hot it's kind of chilly where I am. Um, 41. It's 41 degrees Fahrenheit here. Um, so that's kind of chilly. That's just like a few degrees above freezing, really. So it's really nice and sunny out though. So, I'll take it. Oh yeah, it sounds much more complicated. It is. It is. Limmer, welcome on in. How are you doing today? Happy Sunday to you. Um, yeah, so we are just talking about food, our daily question. You know how we kind of at the top of stream as people kind of filter in. I like to chat a little bit. We talk about our daily question. That is, if you were to own a restaurant, what type of food would you serve? What type of restaurant would it be? Um, yeah, it is very hot at Park of the Poets. What's Park of the Poets? I'm not familiar with that. Um, yeah, I'm glad it's not hot. I don't deal with hot as well. I've been thinking about how am I going to stream when it's hot because of course I have the stream lights, I have the monitors, the computers going. Like my chair is faux leather, so like if I'm really hot and sweating, I'll stick to the chair. I might slide off the chair even. And in the next room over is where our only air conditioner is for the downstairs, but it's really loud, so I don't know how I'm gonna just have to have that running in the background. Um, while I'm streaming. It just occurred to me, what am I gonna do this summer? Yeah, I don't know. It's just gonna have to be the way it is because, I stream long enough that if I didn't run the air conditioner, I literally Like maybe could make maybe an hour. Like if I cool it down, shut it off, stream, like it's only gonna last an hour. So I don't think that's gonna work. We're just gonna have to run it in the background. I don't know how other people do it, but that's literally the solution I have. So have a tabletop USB fan that could help. It's pretty quiet. Yeah, that could be a thing. Definitely would help. Um, we'll figure it out. I guess we'll figure it out is the long and short of it. Oh, you know why? It's just realized it. There we go. And I need to pop this out. Pop out. Um, I didn't quite have all my chat or my stream stuff set up. Normally, I pop out my window so I could see your pronouns when I'm looking at my dashboard. And if I pop the window out, then it will show the pronouns. And if it's not popped out, then it won't. It's very strange, but so I always have it popped out. Parque dos Poetas has a lot of sculptures of famous Portuguese poets. I could show you pictures on Twitter if you want. That would be cool. Um, is it an so it's an outdoor park, I assume? That's what I'm gathering. But yeah, so far it's still been cold here. We had on Thursday it was like above 60 here, 60 Fahrenheit. And I mowed the lawn because the lawn has been getting a little out of control. In the back, I only did a little bit of the back, not outside the fence, not up front. So just a little bit. And I mean, it took me about, I had to clean up first because it's, the first mow of the year and there's sticks all over and, people's trash that has blown in inside the fence and stuff like that. So I had to do a little cleanup first, not to mention dogs. Um, and yeah, so it took me about 20 minutes. And I think that's what I'm paying for and why I canceled yesterday is just because I'm still dragging from that. I'm still really sore. And then yesterday we got a new couch. Well, we got a couch. I didn't have a couch before. Um, so I moved the couch with my brother, and now like my whole upper body is sore. But that shouldn't prevent me from streaming today. It was just, yesterday was just too much. There was just too much. I really needed to lay around, and it was great. I laid in bed. I watched a couple movies. Um, Definitely some good self-care time for me. So even though I missed you all, and I'm really sad, I only stream on Saturday and Sunday. So when I have to miss days, um, it makes me sad because I miss y'all. I love hanging out with y'all. So a landscape park. Sorry about Soram. No worries. Oof, yeah, I'm glad you were able to get some rest and downtime afterwards. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, and now I have a couch to lay on, so that's great. But right now, like before we got the couch, so if you don't know, my husband is in a wheelchair full time. He's paraplegic. So the house is really centered around him being able to move around the house. Um, and so we don't have a lot of furniture because of that. We basically have um, in the bedroom, it's a bedroom, and then our computers are in the bedroom as well. And then we have the kitchen, no furniture in the kitchen. There's one bar stool that slides out from under the counter if I want to sit and like shell peas or something like that. And then in the living room, we had no furniture. It was just a desk with a TV on it, and then we had the dog kennels in there. Just so we basically live in the bedroom. I know a lot of people do that, but um, and I was like, I literally have the bed to lay on or the computer chair to sit in. That's where I have. So if I want to like lounge, I either have to sit upright in my chair like this or lay down or I could sit in bed, but that's like sometimes you just need to relax your body like I think you all know what I mean, right? Like just kind of slouch. Like I don't mean like bad posture, but you just kind of need to slouch, but not all the way laying down. So I was really adamant about we need some either a lazy boy, like one of those recliners that like you can put your feet up, but or we need to get a couch. And so we found a couch on uh, Facebook, the Facebook marketplace, and got a really cheap leather couch. It's real leather, which is also important for me because of the animals. I don't like I don't want to have to clean the fabric. So I said, let's get leather. We can wipe it down. The cats do scratch the edges, but for the most part, they're good about that. So yeah, that's what I did yesterday. We miss you too. We were glad you're prioritizing your health and well-being first. Yeah, I know you all understand. I know you do. I That's what I love about y'all is that you definitely understand. And many of you are in the same boat where you struggle with things. You have chronic things that you have to cope with, and so I know a lot. I know you understand, and I appreciate that definitely. Um, yeah. So I got a new couch. Pretty excited about that. What color is the sofa? It's brown. It's a brown, kind of a darker brown love seat. But it's oversized. So it's like extra deep. Um, the arms are nice and big. The back cushions are nice and kind of fluffy. Uh, yeah, I'm pretty excited. It was definitely an awesome deal for a real leather couch. The couch I had previously was a full size couch. Same deal. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. It was yeah, so it was like three seats, full size, and it was a like a ox blood, like deep red leather, and that was gorgeous. Um, but but my pit bull that I have was a puppy at the time that I got it, and he one time chewed on the cushion um, and tore it all up. And so what I had to do was I cut off the back panel because it's always up against the wall. So I cut off the back panel and sewed a new cushion for it. So we brought life back into it that way. Um, and but then it had to be tossed because the back of the sofa was missing a nice big patch of leather from it. So um, hopefully he won't chew on it. I think now he's grown enough that he knows he's not a chewer like he was. So what we do for our animals, right? What we put up with. Everybody told me he's a really anxious dog. He has separation anxiety. So anytime I leave, he gets panicky. Otherwise, he's fine. He's like really chill. He's really listens, but like I trained him really well. He's a great dog with separation anxiety, and so he would chew on things that he wasn't supposed to when I leave. And a lot of people told me, gosh, he's destroying this and that and this and that. Not only that, but he's an escape artist. So I would put him in his kennel and he would get out. And he would get out and he would get out. And I would buy a different kind of kennel and he would get out. Now I have like a steel bar welded kennel that could probably hold a tiger. Like it probably could hold a tiger and keep a tiger in. Um, and he knows how to, so it has latches that slide in like this into like this basically. um he knows how to push those aside, so I started putting pins in. He could push the pins up, slide the thing aside, so he's a smart dog. So now I have to like a clasp, so a clasp that he is not capable of opening. So that's what I have done to keep this dog safe, my dog safe, because if he's chewing things he's at risk, like he is at risk of swallowing things he shouldn't or eating things he shouldn't. So this dog and I have been through quite a lot. Doggy has separation anxiety. Yeah, he does. It's sad. Oops. All right, I'm gonna have to put the gate up because she's already trying to come in here, so I will be right back in just a second. I love coming into Doggo Talk. Welcome on in. Doggo Talk. For some reason, my brain, when I said that, heard taco. Doggo Talk. Taco dog. I don't know. My brain just kind of twisted it around. Welcome on in, Ox Spice. How are you doing today? Yeah. Um, we've talked about food, we've talked about dogs. I've told you a little bit the agenda of we're going to be talking about Tool today. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm a little bit nervous because there's kind of a lot to it. Like to my brain is really easy, but trying to explain it, that's a whole different thing. So, but you spend a lot of time with the dog, huh? Oh, yes. Well, the thing is, especially now with COVID, like all of my doctor's appointment, almost all of my doctor's appointments are virtual. My daughter also lives with us, and my hair is bugging me here. Um, she never leaves the house, so he's actually that's why you don't hear the dogs that often, or they're not like milling around or barking or anything. It's because they're upstairs with her, hanging out on her bed, nice and happy as clams, hanging out up there with her. So no, basically no separation anxiety anymore because he's never alone. So my brain is always parked on tacos, right? I love tacos. What I love more than tacos is nachos. I'm one of those people. I love tacos a lot, um, but nachos is my jam, definitely. All kinds of nachos too. Beans, beef, chicken, white nachos, regular not, just anything. I'm just not picky. Basically anything on chips I like chips and dips. Definitely one of my favorite things. Yeah, or crackers and dips, crackers and cheese. I just like to eat things on things that you could like dip or scoop or I think that's what it is. I don't like using silverware, right? Maybe it's just I don't like using silverware. The best tacos come from shady gas stations. It's a fact. So here's the thing. Back when I could eat like soft shell, glutinous soft shell, yes, totally agree. Like microwave tacos, super awesome. Um, now that I can't, like, you have to have corn tortillas as a gluten-free person. I have found one brand of flour tortillas that are gluten-free that are okay, that are pretty good, but can't find those kind of tacos very often. So, interactive food. That's a great way to put it, Liver. That is a great way. Interactive food. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Um, so, for those of you who just are joining, our daily question of the day: if you owned a restaurant, what type of food would it serve? So, that's kind of what got us kicked off on this food talk. Um, yeah, yeah, food. Like I said at the top of the stream, I could do a stream just talking about food. Let's just hang out and talk about food. I still haven't decided. I love so many types of food. Well, then you could have a buffet, right? You could have a buffet of all different, like each table would specialize in a different type of food. I mean, it's a thing. Breakfast, hands down. Really? That's interesting. I like that answer. That hadn't even like occurred to me as a possibility of type of restaurant, but I like it. I like it. I mean, to be fair, I'm gonna pretty much like everybody's answer because, food is just awesome. Pizza for breakfast. Yeah, I eat pizza for breakfast. I know a lot of people don't do that. Like, leftover pizza is not a thing, or leftover cold pizza. I was one of those people who was raised on leftover cold pizza for breakfast. Anybody else? Did anybody else eat cold pizza for breakfast the next morning? Anybody else? Just me? I absolutely love to cook breakfast food, and it's my favorite. Cool. What's your favorite dish to cook for breakfast or eat? I've done it. Okay. My 13-year-old cousin does it. All right. Yeah, maybe it's not. I don't know. My mom did it. Like my mom did it when I was growing up, and so we did it, my brother and I. And probably my sister. She's 12 years younger than me. And so she kind of grew up and my stepdad is her dad. So she's a half sister. So she kind of grew up in a different household, but I'm pretty much sure that that cold leftover pizza was a thing for her too. I don't, but no judgment to those who do. I've heard of a lot of people doing it. Yeah, yeah. I love making quiche, but I aspire to master homemade biscuits and gravy. Oh man, I love quiche too. I used to make quiche quite a lot for dinner, actually. Um, it's really easy to make, and healthy. Like my quiche had, I'm not going to even explain I made it all different ways, but it usually had a vegetable. And then my mom, when I growing up, she served it with like a mushroom gravy over the top. So um, I like doing that as well. Like maybe that's not allowed in some places to eat quiche with mushroom gravy, but growing up, that's what we did, and it was delicious. Um, and biscuits and gravy. My grandmother made an awesome biscuits and gravy, and I don't know, something about the way that my grandma made things was definitely special. I think it might be that special love ingredient. No shortcuts, everything is made from scratch. So that definitely adds to it. It's so easy and you can have dump in so many random things you have laying around. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Um, and lots of pepper. My mom said the key to quiche is pepper. Lots of pepper. So that's words I live by, and it has not led me astray. She was exactly right. Uh, so I like that idea. Yeah, there's a lot of options to do with breakfast foods, definitely. Um, and that can include any sort of like biscuits or baked goods as well. Like Sarah was kind of talking about having a baked selection, baked goods, more in the desserts realm, but you could take it with the breakfast side of things too. Is it true that in America, poor children are allowed to have free meals at the malls? Hmm. Um, can even have donuts for breakfast free. Well, I don't know about that in the mall. Um, our schools provide breakfast. I don't think they are free if you apply for assistance. You could qualify for free meals. At least in my state. I don't know. I think that's probably a state to state thing, but maybe, but it's not something I've heard about. Yeah, that's what uh it's not something I've heard of either. But I think it's more school, like you can find meals in schools if you apply for it. Most schools have a free lunch program. Right, right. So that's where I've heard of it happening. Breakfast and lunch. Yes, exactly. So I know sometimes children could get like a free apple or a free orange in the grocery store, at least in my area. Um, I've seen that as well, that they have like a designated basket that a child can choose a sample out of. Um, so I've seen that sometimes too. That's a kind of an interesting question. But yeah, I haven't seen it at the mall, and I'm not sure that like malls that you would want it. That's not really nutritional meals. So all of the mall food I could think of is pretty junky, pretty unhealthy. I mean, I guess if beggars can't be choosers, um, but yeah, I feel like malls are kind of dying out, and you know what? They really are. We have a big mall in our area, and like a whole wing of it has just been converted to medical a medical so there's like offices, but there's also like our physical therapy is in that area now. Yeah, I think both my husband and I went there to physical therapy there. So there's, a gym, basically a big gym and different rooms like that. So I've heard about their other kids the other day that kids over there were allowed free meals. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was like a special event, like maybe they're doing a food drive or something. That could be as well. Same with mall near here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That they're converting a lot of stores closing. I was in retail. I worked at the mall many, many years, and the store I first trained in uh, is now closed, just closed. That one has been there like 20 years. The second store I went to only lasted 2 years. I was the assistant manager there, and we just couldn't get the sales to where the company wanted them. And then the third store, which is a children's store, children's clothing store, that also closed. I was the store manager there, and I left for personal reasons, not because it closed, but it closed shortly, like within a year after. So all of those stores have already have closed in the mall I'm at. People are just buying online. Like it is far easier to just order something online, right? So I just was trying to buy some new shoes. I looked online to see what I wanted. I compared prices, and I thought, so there's shoes that I've already owned, a brand of shoes, and I'm buying something very similar. Normally, I would like to try them on just to kind of make sure they feel good, but since it was something I already had owned, I was like, you know what? I'm going to order it on Amazon because uh, it's just easier. Like it shows up at my door in like 2 or 3 days. Like oftentimes the shipping is so close, like it's so soon that I'm like, I'll, I'll wait that. That's fine. Or I take a 15-minute trip up to my mall or the mall area anyway to try on the shoes. They might not have my size. That's also something that happens often. So, why not? Like, why not order online? Um, yeah, it's definitely, I think a lot of the brick and mortar stores are gonna be more rare in the future, just with the way of things. Unless we have some, yeah, I'm not gonna go down that road. I was thinking like, unless we have like a big, huge interruption in the supply chain, like that could alter things. But yeah, I love ordering online. Ordering groceries online has been a game changer. Absolutely. Absolutely. I now order my groceries online and they are delivered right to my door. And I started that with the COVID um, lockdown that we had. And initially, I would order them and I would drive to Walmart, to the local Walmart, and they load them in the back of your car and then you go home. But they offer a subscription, a monthly subscription. You pay whatever, get free shipping then. Otherwise, like shipping was like $10, or like shipping and handling for somebody to bring them to you was like $10 a time, $10 or $12 a time in my area. Um, and I think it was like for 15 bucks a month, you get unlimited. And so I chose that option. Um, and those amounts are, I don't remember if that's exactly what it was, but that kind of idea of that they were so similar that I was like, why wouldn't I do that? And then they bring it right to my door. So I love it. I love it. Um, t- Going grocery shopping was one of the most difficult things I have to do as far as brain power and decision making. Like if I'm having a bad day, like mentally, if I'm having any dizzy spells or anything, any of you know that I deal with, it's really hard for me to shop. And then there's the physical aspect too, like walking around a huge old Walmart, like we have the big super center. If I'm, walking back and forth, if I forget something, it can be really hard on me physically to do all that. And I could do it, but then I'm done. Like that's what I did for the day. So just to kind of take all of that out of the picture and just have my food show up. It's been definitely worth spending that extra little bit of money on. Um, and again, especially with the COVID and not having to expose myself to other people, to areas where there are a lot of people, was really good for my anxiety. So yeah, I totally agree, Sarah. That has been a game changer. Um, yeah, so it is top of the hour. I am going to take a break. It's good for the legs to exercise. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Um, if you're sitting too much and not moving your legs, issues can happen there too. So definitely stretching your legs, moving your legs, going for a walk, always a good thing. Self-care, yeah. Thank you, Sarah, for doing that reminder. We're going to take a quick break. Um, I might, so I'm not waiting for another hour. I'm gonna let the dogs out as well. It's a little bit early, but so it's gonna be a few minutes longer break than I normally like to take. But they need to get their time in, get outside. So now would be a great time for you to get up as well if you haven't stretched. If you've been sitting here for the past hour, definitely give yourself a little stretch. Get yourself something to eat or drink. And we will be right back in a just a few moments. And then we're going to jump into uh, our tool mod demo, talking about it, trying it out. Yes, so we'll be right back. And welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a nice little break there. All right, we're going over here. I think. I think this will work best. Um, Thank you, Sarah, for doing all those links. I appreciate that. So yeah, we are going to be working with Tool, and in conjunction with Tool is the Better Build By mod, which allows you to use Tool in build mode. That's our plan. So first I'm going to show you all how to download it and install it. Let's see. All right, so here at this is twistedmexi.com. Just want to make sure it's showing up for you all. And here is Tool. This is a list of all his different mods that you can download, but we're going to be doing this one. So we click on the download, and it's going to bring you over to his Patreon page. Hopefully I am still out of the way for y'all to see. And you read all about it here. And then down at the bottom, after you read all that, is going to be where you would find it. So if you just wanted Tool Mod, I think you can install just the Tool Mod, and you would still have to use it in live mode. I believe that's correct. If you want the build mode version, you have to install both the Better Build By and Tool. I tried watching his videos this morning, and I think I'm understanding that correctly. So what I'm going to do, it's already installed in my game, but I'll go through the process just to show y'all. So we're gonna click on this one, and it's gonna download here to my computer. Can you all see that? Yes, you can. So then what I'm gonna do is click on it, open it up, and it did give me a pop-up window on my other screen. And this is what it looks like then. I'm running Windows 10. If you're a Mac, I can't help you with that, but I'm sure it's very similar. And I keep my game in my documents, so I'm going to open that one in a separate one. Electronic Arts, Sims 4, and here's my mods folder right here. It literally says he has written in this, when you download it and open it, drag this folder to your mods folder. So he literally has, and what I would do is drag it into my mods right here. Can you all see that? Yeah. So I'm not going to do it because then I'd end up with 2 copies of Tool. But as you can see, oops. As you can see, I lost them all. There we go. As you can see, this exact folder right here is right here. It's that easy. So you just have to make sure you know where your game is installed and that mods folder is. And then, oh, Sophia, you unlocked the little blueberry love emote. Love to see it. So that's how you install it. It would be the same exact method for that Better Build By mod if you want it in, if you want to be able to use Tool in your build mode. If I say something incorrectly and you catch it, feel free to correct me too. Yeah, I did. Cutie bird. Yes, I love my emotes. I really do. I hired a emotes. Yes. Tauhi. I definitely want to just give her a shout out. She is awesome. I don't know if she's currently hiring, but if you have emotes if you need somebody to draw your emotes and you like the style that she did of mine, definitely reach out to her. She's awesome. Okay, so I could close that Tool mod. All right, let me take a drink here for a sec. And we have a lot to cover. And I tried to make a little list for myself to try and kind of stay organized. and cover everything, but I don't know how well it's gonna go. So, so wish me luck. Okay, so we have it installed in our mods folder. We've launched our game. And what we need to do, same as any mods, we need to go into game options like this. We need to, where is it? Other, and we need to make sure enable custom content and mods is on and script mods. So both of these need to be on. If they haven't been and you just turn them on, you need to restart the game for the game to kind of recalibrate and make sure that it knows that they're supposed to be on. Good luck. Thank you, Sophia. So now we have it installed in our mods folder. We have these both checked. We have restarted our game. Oh, we have to hit apply. And then this is where we're at. We've restarted our game. We've loaded into a lot. Here we are. All right. Let me save that while I'm at it because I just moved Knox into this apartment. So I have both Oxspice. Thank you for that lurk. Enjoy that. So now the first thing we need to do is turn on testing cheats. So testing cheats true. We do Control Shift C to open that dialog box, and then we would type it in. I have a Twisted Mexi mod, teeny tiny little mod that has testing cheats true always on, so I never have to think about turning it on. So I'm not going to type it, but you know what I mean. You can download that mod too. Sarah, thank you for those cheats. I need to include the testing cheats on one, but yeah, there's a list of cheats. Show hidden objects, show live edit, edit objects, ignore gameplay objects, unlocks entitlement. That one I will. I will put that one in. Because that's the only one I don't have. I don't think we're going to be using it today, but whoopsies. But I'll put it in just in case. And then those other ones, the CAS, those are all unlocking all the hidden items for, yep, testing cheats true or testing cheats on. Just depends. It seems like some work, sometimes some work for one and not the other. So those CAS ones are unlocking nifty knitting things, Star Wars things, and one of the other ones I can't remember. For anyone who isn't aware, yes. Okay, so we've turned on testing cheats. Let me get my sticky note. Move objects on will need to be used for a lot of when you're using tool. One second, my daughter's texting me. She wants to do laundry. You all, if you're regular, you know she does laundry on Sundays, so hear her coming up and down. But she always likes to text me so that from upstairs to make sure she's not interrupting my stream. She is such a sweetheart. Okay, so first things first. If we're going to go through both, we're going to go through both live and live. I call it live mode or live mode and build mode. They work basically the same, but I want to make sure that anybody who isn't using Better Build By still knows how to do it. We're going to just cover all the bases. So right now we're in live mode with Knox. I moved Knox into this apartment here. To open Shift, or to open Tool, the Tool dialog box, you press Shift and then click on the ground. And this menu will pop up. And then you have all the options from there. So you can't, if you, oh, that I was going to say, okay. It has to be in an open spot. So right here, there's no object here. If I shift on the rug, it's going to think I want to do something to that rug. So in order to just open the dialog box, in general, we have to click on somewhere that doesn't have anything. So the first thing we're going to go over is the dialog box location. So right now, if I open this, let's say I want to elevate something. This is the dialog box right here that we're making pop up. There is the ability to move it to anywhere you want basically. You can't drag it unfortunately, but so I am shift clicking on the floor where nothing is, and then we're going to change the settings, and there's one of the options is set dialog box position. So we have the option of the center, which is where it's at right now, to the left, middle, to the right, middle, to the top, so it's the very top center, or to the top left. Right now, because of streaming, I have it over on the right, as you saw, because over on the left, over here where all my faces and everything, I have a chat overlay, so it wouldn't work for me to have it there because I couldn't read it through my chat overlay. So by default, I think it's in the center. So let's try that, and I'll show you why I move it. Set dialog position center. So this is where it is by default here. And as you can see, I find it, I mean, a lot of people work around this. I find it gets in the way though, so that's why I'm moving it off over to the side. But if you like it up to the top, you know, it's just, you have the ability to move it in those different locations. Okay. So the first thing we're going to cover is elevate. So in order to select an object, much like opening the dialog box, you're going to shift click the object. So I'm holding down the shift key right now. I never understood the toggle group though. We'll get to it. We are going to hold down the shift and click on the sofa, and then we're gonna elevate it. So let's say for some reason I'm building something, I want a couch floating in the air. And as he describes here, pick a value between -25 and 25. You actually could go more higher and lower than that, but like if you do it, if I elevate it 1,000, it's going to be way off the map in the sky. Like if we looked up, we would see it way up in the sky. And so that is why he gave a little bit of a guideline like that. So I'm going to just say 2. We're going to go 2 off of the ground. If I want to undo that, I can either click on it, shift click on it again, and elevate. We could do -2, and that'll put it right back. Or, so elevate 2, we're going to put it back. Or if I shift click on the ground, empty space again, I can hit the undo. So there's an undo button. A lot of people forget that there's an undo button, and you can do it in sequence. So let's say I moved the couch 3 different times. I can hit undo 3 times, and each time it will go back 1. So don't forget there's that undo. If you ever do something and like if you lose the couch, like I accidentally typed 1,000 instead of 1 for some reason, and I don't know where the couch went, go hit undo. That is an option. With build mode, it's a little bit different. So in live mode, we're doing shift click to open that up. I'm going to try with all my might to remember the undo button. So when I get like panicky, like, oh crap, where did it go? What did I do? I don't know. Undo, undo, undo. Like the undo motto, like mantra, it's a mantra. There's undo, there's an undo, there's an undo, is what I tell myself. So I don't like start freaking out about if I've lost it or whatever, if I've lost the object. So we're going to shift click on the ground in live mode, and then in build by mode, it's shift plus T will open and you don't have to click. It's just Shift T will open the dialog box. Otherwise, everything works exactly the same. I click an object, just click on it. You don't have to hold anything down now, and then you can elevate it from there. So it literally, they're a little bit different, but the labels are the same. And then to deactivate it, I'm going to click again. So this took me a while to get used to because I had been playing with the live mode for like 2 years. Great undo. I lost some objects before. Yeah, it's great. It doesn't work in all scenarios. Like, let's see. If I highlight this one, I'm going to scale it to 0.5 and then options undo. Yeah, it does. Okay. So if I scale something to like too small and I don't know where it is, like I can't find it, you can still undo it. So that's also handy. Okay, so one of the other things about elevation is, so I'm going to hit Shift T to close that dialog box, and now I'm back in the normal build mode. So I can move it up and down with our usual 9 and 0 keys. So let's say I want, nothing here can be cloned. Why not? Oh, is that a debug object? Oh, and Nox doesn't have enough money to buy anything, so we're gonna make Nox rich for the purposes of our for our tutorial here. Oh, because it's a fabricated couch. I thought we could clone stuff with the Better Build by On. Okay, so here's something else. It's not tool, but I will say that a lot of people run into is they don't have these toggled on, debug and live edit, and so they're looking for those, you know, those objects, and you have to have this one, and then this one on in order for all the objects to show. A lot of people seem to miss that, and they're like, where did everything go? And that's where they went, is you have to turn those on because the mod filters them out. So I was going to use, let's say I want to make a sectional with this. And I wanted to do something like that. Oh, it's not a great example. What I'm trying to look for is some flickering. So the one he used in his tutorial is the Machino one. This one. There, and y'all, you can see how that's flickering. So in order to, a trick that I use a lot and other people use is just moving it up a teeny tiny bit. I'll use this with counters a lot too. So you're going to do in build by mode, Shift T to open that dialog box. We just click on it once to activate the object, and then we are going to elevate it just a teeny tiny bit up or down. In this case, I'm going to go down. 0.001 is the magic number, and it completely eliminates that flickering. It's still usable. So that's a little trick with elevation that I use a lot. If there's any of those flickering things, I will move something just by a minuscule amount to get that flickering to go away. Great undo. I've lost. Oh, so that's how it's done. Yep, that's how it's done. Pretty easy once you know. The other option, yeah, I'm not gonna, let's just stick with that. So I could have raised it up a teeny tiny bit, or I can lower it. Sims could still use it, even if I were to, let's see here. let's I'm gonna kind of go through things in a specific order. Otherwise, I'm gonna confuse myself. Um, okay, so let's do rotate next. Um, for the most part, I'm going to be doing it in build mode because that's how I use it now. I think how a lot of people are going to use it. If you have questions, like if you're using the old school tool and have questions, feel free to ask me. Let me know if you have questions, but they pretty much work the same way. Uh, okay, so something that has an obvious front, like let's say um, a dresser, that should have an obvious front, like this. Oops. Um, we're gonna work in rotate now. So I'm gonna open the dialog, Shift plus the T key at the same time. We're gonna tap it to select it, make it active, and then we're gonna rotate it. So we hit the rotate button. And right now, this is, it shows you a circle basically of which direction, which axis it's gonna move on. If these confuse you, I don't have any help. I don't have any suggestions. Um, I can just see it in my brain how it's going to move based on the circles. I know not everybody can. If you struggle with that, just try a little bit. Just test one and see until you find the right one because I don't know how to tell you that otherwise. So one trick is if it has an obvious front, like this is obviously the front of the dresser, the number is going to be positive. If we go backwards, it's going to be negative. That's generally true. So if I wanted to move this tipped back, I'm going to have to do a negative, and then let's say I want 20 degrees. So it's moving it back. If I accidentally did backwards and I want it forward, I could, since I moved it back 20, I could do forward 20 and it would be upright, and then I could do forward 20 again, but I like to do the difference and add them together, so it's going to be 40. Oops, I didn't toggle it first. Rotate 40. It would have it the right way then. If you look up circle degrees on the Google images, those might help people. I recommend starting within 90 and 45 to get an idea. Twisted Maxi, welcome on in. Thank you for that tip. Yeah, we were actually I actually had a thing pulled up here for y'all. What is this called? A protractor. So this is like it totally, when I started using the tool map or the tool mod, it totally brought me back to these my math days of geometry. So yeah, the kind of the most common ones are the 90, the 45, because it's like a 45-degree angle, and the 80. So again, I don't, if this isn't in your brain for some reason, if you didn't remember this, just try some numbers and you'll see, and hopefully you'll get the feel of it. But if you can remember this, like the different degrees of angles, it really helps you out. So yeah. So this is the circle degrees that he's talking about. Yeah. It's so awesome to see you here. How are you doing today? Thank you for popping by. We're just getting started here. All right, let me get my let me get my chat popped up again. So the other thing is, if we do an object, let's get rid of this one. Let's do a bed. That I thought was fun, which is from Twisted Maxi's tutorial. Good. Actually, working on some new rotation indicators. Yeah, yeah, that's super exciting. So, in the video, the last video he did of the tips and tricks, he said he is going to try and add which way is positive and negative. So that I think will be a big help for everybody. I'm super excited for people who struggle with that, especially some. I just kind of am a trial and error kind of person. Um, so we are going to rotate this. We're going to change the axis. I just wanted to tip it a little bit um, to show you all that it's still usable for the sim, I believe. Nap. We're going to have Nox nap in the bed. So like I have used this if I want like a chair that's a little off kilter. Um, the Sims will still use it. Like if I'm doing like a Halloween or a spooky build, um, as long as it's close enough to the floor, um, the Sim will still be able to use it. So that's kind of some ways you can kind of use it a little bit creatively. And you can, Twisted Knox. Retro Lark, welcome on in. How are you doing today? Good morning. Happy Sunday to you. I'm going to open our menu and rotate back, and the sim will actually still stay in it, so that's kind of fun. You too. Thank you. We do have our daily question. Today it's food related because why not be food related? If you owned a restaurant, what type of food would you serve? I think I've said 3 different things. I almost opened a raw food restaurant, so that's vegan raw. Indian food would be my second choice, and then I did say pizza. I mean, frankly, I would have a restaurant with any. Um, no elevate. Oh, right. So if you elevate something too far off the ground, your sim isn't going to be able to use it. So that's the caveat. Like if I lifted this up too, he can't access it, so he's not going to be able to do that. The other thing with rotate is rugs. You can rotate rugs, but they're kind of see-through. So they're a little... So that one I did 90 degrees. It looked like it disappeared, but because I've done this enough, I know you just have to go around to the other side. And if you'll see here, you could kind of see the objects. You could see all of the objects through it. So that's why if you're going to rotate a rug, it basically needs to be hung on the wall like a tapestry. Otherwise, the game kind of does some weird things. Undo, undo. Remember I told y'all there's that undo button. Like if you did that and you were like, where did the rug go? I don't see it, and you didn't know to go around it like I did, just hit undo. Undo, undo. It's like the brake when you're teaching somebody to drive. You're like, just hit the brake, just hit the brake. If you're ever in trouble, just hit the brake. Undo is my best friend in Tool. Yeah, absolutely. Control Z works too when in build mode. Hey, that's good to know. Let me write that down. I didn't know that. Which is typically your undo keystroke that you would use like in a word processor program or whatever. So that's good to know. I'm going to put that in my list of tool mod notes. All right. Basically, the other thing we want to do, it will undo tool when tool is open and undo build by actions when it's closed. It will undo tool when tool is open. So when the dialog box is open and so you're in active tool mode, it will undo the tool. And if it's closed, then it will undo your build by actions. Nice. Nice. Okay, Nox. I'm going to take that away from you. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about that a lot of people don't necessarily remember, I've forgotten myself, and I'm like, what's going on? So we're just gonna review it, is objects that are slotted. Now, a lot of times I do this when I'm using decoration, like trying to do it when I'm decorating something. But this is kind of a, well, we'll try both actually. Um, okay, so basically the chair slotted to the table, and the skull slotted to the table as well. So the table is the parent object. The other two objects are, I think they're called a child. Um, you have to move the parent object. The other two objects won't move since they're slotted in. So if I open my tool, which is Shift T again, and try and click on the chair, it'll activate it, but it won't move it. Basically, it it disappears. Like it doesn't move correctly. Same thing with the skull. I can activate it, I can move it, but it's not moving to where I'm telling it to. So that is because it's looking for the parent object. So it sends it to 000, aka the void. Yeah. So it's technically there, but yeah. So we're going to hit our undo again. So you have to move, if something is slotted to a different object, you have to move the parent object and it'll work just fine. So I frequently do this without thinking about it. When I, like, let's say I want to move this here, just over a little bit, and I'll try and do the what's it called? Gravity pull. I'll try and do the gravity pull, which we haven't covered yet, but to try and get it to move, and it won't do it. So that is why, is because it's snapped into place. So that is something to just kind of be aware of when you're using the when you're using that feature. Let's see what else. Oh, and then there's the new tool feature. I haven't experimented with it too much, which is rotate objects a around a center. That isn't available for public release yet, but I am a Patreon member, so I do have it right now. I do have access right now. It's on the 28th, I think, 28th that it should be available for public release. And basically, what that means, yep, okay, is let's say, let's go to, if the gallery is working fine. We're going to take a creation that we're going to go to Fantasim. She has a lot of little room objects that we can place, and I'll show you. View catalog. So to create, here we go. I was hoping for something a little smaller. Ancient laptop. Here's a little nice little room. There's not too much to that. Okay. Is this a lot or a room? Okay, it's too big. Try that again. Try that again, friends. So basically when you create, like if you saw my mutant motor vehicle, I had to rotate things in many different directions to get it to look like what I wanted. We'll take that little book one, that's fine. Sorry, I'm back. So slow today, like molasses. No worries, Sarah. Do what you can. You know how I feel about that. Okay. So basically we have a couple of different objects rotated. Let's rotate this. Oop. It's too apparent, so I have to separate it in order to in order to rotate it, just like we just talked about. All right, and then I'm going to move it here and elevate it 0.5. Oops. Okay, so we're just gonna pretend that that's the way I meant it to be. I'm gonna move this so y'all could see it a little bit better. And the other thing I'm gonna do is, it's so flippin' light in here that we're gonna get a light in here as well because it's bothering me. Okay, so we're gonna open our dialog box again, which is the Shift T. We're going to, this is the rotate on the center. Again, this is early access. So it's going to be options. We need a grouping box, which is, I don't use grouping box a lot. I think Sophia, this is maybe what you're asking about. Shift, click on the ground. So it's this one. This one, it always confuses me. Okay, so it sets one and then goes from the second one to the last one. This is why it always confuses me. That's why I don't use it that often. There we go. Okay, so I got the box around the items that I want to move. Okay. So if then I toggle the group, and if I rotate them, let's say I wanted to spin it around so it's facing me. So it's facing, the chair is facing Knox, or the computer is facing Knox. So I would go negative, let's say 90. Well, when we don't use the center rotate, everything goes completely, everything is off. Like everything didn't stay together. It doesn't make sense. So we're going to undo. With this new feature, you can go to rotate around the center, and then we should be able to do 90. And everything stayed the right way. So that's a new feature that I think is super awesome. Super. It will always move the one that's orange. Okay, that's great to know. Great to know, great to know. That we can move that group to another room. Absolutely. That's one way to do it. One way is to set the grouping box and then hit the toggle like I did. So let's say we just set our here's our toggle group button. So now I untoggled it. Everything is still in that grouping box, and options toggle group. So then everything is activated. Let's say I want it over here in the bedroom. Then I can just click on the bedroom and it moves the whole thing. If I want to get rid of that toggle, I can hide the grouping box, is what that's called. But everything is still selected, so I could still move it back. I did something. Oh, so that's another thing, is I have we haven't talked about it yet, but I have this setting, change settings. I have snap to terrain on. So we're gonna cover that too. Nice. How easy after all. Yeah, so that's one way to do it. The other way, depending on how many objects you have, the other way is to have this open and then we're going to just click on something, and then you're going to hold your Alt key. So hold Alt down, and then we're going to just click on everything else we want to add to it. So I did the same thing as the grouping box, just manually. Sometimes that works. Sometimes if you only have a few items, you could do it that way. But if you're doing something like my mutant motor, some of that stuff you can't see once it gets underneath all the layers, and so you would prefer to use the dialog box. So that way I can move everything there too. Oh, that didn't quite work, but because I have the other thing off. So, oh, my voice. Exclude slotted. Oh, exclude slotted. This one. Is this, oh, the computer? Yeah, so is it the pen and ink or is it the computer that's doing it? Yeah, it must be the computer. So what's happening when I moved it is the same thing that happened to the chairs, because one of the objects is slotted to something in the group, and so it's making it disappear. So again, that's why I kind of went through those other things first, is because it can affect how certain things act. Even better, pressing Alt. You explain so well, like a teacher. Oh, thanks, Sophie. I'm glad you're able to understand it. So I'm going to guess it's probably the computer that's doing that, but it's because anything that's slotted loses its own coordinates, so it's skewing the position way off. Yes, that makes total. It makes sense to me. Okay, so that's everything about rotate. Basically, that's everything about rotate. Basically, we didn't really cover it entirely, but again, with that sort of math thing in mind, so I think this has an obvious front. Obviously, like I said, if it has an obvious front, that's going to be the positive, and then going back would be the negative. I don't know if the same holds true for left and right. Do you know the answer to that? Twisted Mexi is left or right if you're facing something generally. I mean, it kind of would make sense if it was, but oh boy. It says we're on a diagonal lot. So this particular, it just depends. The indicator will help a lot. Yeah, so Twisted Mexi, like I said a few minutes ago, is working on an indicator that will let you know if you need to, if it needs to be a negative number or a positive number. This particular lot is on the diagonal, so I guess that gets us into move. So there are a couple things about, oh, my cats. We're going to turn that off because I'm not using that right now. Cancel. Move. Okay, now move was the one that intimidated me. And I think a lot of people look at it and are like, I'm not going to use tool. I'm just not going to do it because I can't figure this out. So move. Oops, first we have to select an object. Cancel and then move. So this particular lot is on a diagonal, as you can see. Where is the grid here? So what you look for if you use move, I'm going to just go over it briefly because I basically don't use it often. But we're going from the object that you have selected. And then we're going to look for the X and Y coordinates. Again, this is going back to some math that you probably did years ago. I did certainly years ago. And if you're moving toward this X, which is the green, the X is in green, therefore it's going to be the green lines. That's going to be a positive number. If we're going in this direction from the object, then it's going to be a negative number. Same with the Y. I think this is going to be a positive number from this point to this point, and from this point to this point is going to be a negative. Luke's, welcome on in. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. How are you this fine Sunday? I hope it's a Sunday fun day for you. Maybe not fun day like adult beverages fun day, but just having a fun Sunday. Doing good, thank you. Awesome. We are learning about Tool here. Um, right now we are doing the move feature. I don't use this feature too much myself, so I'm just trying to explain it as best I can. So let's say I want it out here on the balcony. As you can see, I was experimenting. Um, so I need it. So if X is the positive direction, I need to count negative. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, because I want to put it right here. So -4, comma, and then I'm going this direction. So this would be positive. This, since the Y is here, that would be positive. So this is negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So -5. Put it exactly where I wanted. Woohoo! This is like the first time I've actually like understood that. And like really understood it, was able to do it. And of course, they don't have to be whole numbers. You can move it 0.5 or 3.5 or whatever. But the easier way, which is why I don't use this anymore, or I don't use it anymore, was I want it there, so I'm gonna just click there and put it there. If there were like other objects, like a rug, if there was a rug there, I couldn't click on that because it would select the rug instead. So I could see where this could be useful in some circumstances. I don't recommend anyone use it unless they absolutely have to. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for saying that. That's exactly how I feel about it. So I just wanted to explain it a little bit just because it was so overwhelming. And I think people who see the grid, are like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. For the rug scenario, I usually recommend putting it next to the rug and then gravity pulling it into the correct spot. Yes, that's what I would do too. So what that means, gravity, we also haven't gone over that yet. Gravity pulling is, I have this object selected, and basically you hold down the Alt key, and you click in an open spot in the direction that you want it. So let's say I wanted it right up against this wall. So I'm going to click. I mean, I could just click and move it there, but if for some reason, let's say I had a rug down and I couldn't click there, I would click in the direction that I want it to move. The further away I click, the bigger the move is going to be. And if I click really close to it, it's going to move just a teeny tiny bit. So that's, if you have a far way to move something, click further away. And if you want to just, nudge it in ever so slightly, click really close to it. My friend Erin uses all the time and is always convincing me to try it. Awesome. Well, you could hang out here for a few minutes and see if it sounds like something you could enjoy using. If it's I don't think it's too complicated. It's just a matter of doing it. Like I said, I installed it like 2 years ago and I was like, no way. No way. I'm never going to learn this. Learning that grid with the X and the Y, I was like, this is just no. Now there are a lot of extra features that Twisted Maxi has added that make it so user friendly. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing is, I wanted to point out was that if I wanted up against this wall, and I don't just click it like that, it doesn't have to be the same floor that you're clicking on. Oops. That brings us to our next thing too. Options, undo, settings. So snap to terrain is something that a lot of people forget. When I'm watching people's streams and they're using Tool, they forget to use this setting. So snap to terrain basically means, I think scale is probably the easiest way to get your feet wet with it. Absolutely. That's a good point. The only mod I've used for building is Better Build By, and that's a lifesaver. It is. And if you have Better Build By, actually we were talking about this earlier. Twisted Mexi is here, so he can confirm whether I'm right about this. If you have Better Build By, you can use Tool in build mode if you have Tool mod installed as well. If you don't have Better Build By, you still have to use Tool in build mode, or in live mode, sorry. Correct. Okay. So if you just have the Tool mod but aren't using Build By, Better Build By, it's still in live mode. So you have to have both installed, Luke, and then you can use it in build mode. I think it isn't that hard. Like, I use Tool on The Sims too. Nice. It helps in a lot of machinima. I remember hearing about that. Yeah. Okay, so right now I have Snap to Terrain activated. So what that means is it's gonna go to the level that you click on, right? So I clicked on this down here on the ground. It's gonna move it to the ground. If I click it up here, it's gonna move it up here. If I here's a great one. Oh, which I can't do in live mode. Can I? I was gonna go over here. Oh my goodness, Kev, welcome on in, Raiders. How are you all doing? Welcome in. Thank you for that raid, Kev. How is your stream? Kev and company are brunching. My name is Emily, if you're not familiar. I love playing The Sims, building The Sims. Today we are talking about the Tool mod and how it works, and just kind of going over the different features. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. Welcome on in. It is so great to see you all. Thank you for that follow. Oh no, it was right. It was right. What did you get up to? Kev has a build challenge going on right now. Could I get a shout out for Kev, please? An A-frame build challenge. It's really, I've been working on your shell. Awesome. I am working on your shell as well. Or it's not a shell, but it's a build challenge. Thank you for that shout out for Kev. I appreciate that.
Gotta feed it to you in the camera. There you go. What good babies.
There is a little sample of his stream. Definitely go give him a follow. He's awesome, awesome builder. I jumped into a remodel build for Jezebel Trades. Nice. That's awesome. I haven't done too many remodels, but I definitely would like that. Yeah, I've been working on your A-frame. I got the house all done, and then like the landscaping, I've like had a builder's block for 3 days. I keep going back to it, and I'm just really struggling with the landscaping. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just submit the house and not have any landscaping, or have basic landscaping, but builder's block is real. It is. I've been struggling this whole year. I just have been struggling with that builder's block. So that's a bummer, but you know, doing the best I can, I guess. Doing the best I can. Yeah, so I was just showing them the snap to terrain feature with Tool. And I was gonna try and do it over there, but maybe we'll, for some reason. Okay. Try and go in here. I want to prove my point. So builder's block is hitting all of us. I know a lot of people are struggling with it. So right now we have our snap to terrain activated, which means wherever I click on whatever level it is, it's going to go. So right now we have it on this, on the ground level. Here I have it, it literally any surface you click, it's going to snap right to it, no matter what level it is. If we go and turn that back on or off, if we take off the snap to terrain, it's going to behave completely differently. And a lot of people definitely seem to forget this. Oops. Options, settings, snap to terrain. So we're going to turn that off. And it's down here because whatever I had it on the lower level. So the way when that is a pain in the butt is when I was, I was saying we're going to drag it. We were talking about the gravity pull and when you alt click. And I right now have the snap to terrain off, so it's moving where it's at, right? It's not going up or down like it was before. It's just staying at that level. If I use snap to terrain and try and use the gravity pull, it's going to pull it down because I'm clicking down here on the floor. So every pull, it's going to keep going down. So I think a lot of people forget about that setting and then they get really frustrated when the object starts moving. They're trying to pull something over, but they forget and then it starts moving down or up or, So I think a lot of people forget about that one. So I really wanted to point that out, that that's an important one to look for. Definitely. Toggle active object. Okay, so what do we have now? So that's kind of, I think, move. I think I explained the other thing. Yes, the other thing that doesn't really bother me. I don't really worry about it, but we also have this snap camera on move setting. And you could turn that on or off. So if I move this over here, oh, it didn't do it that time. Is it because I don't know why it's not doing that? Snap camera only applies to numerical move. Oh, is that new? So it's so people wouldn't lose objects as easily. Okay, awesome. So I don't actually use that feature, and apparently it only applies to numerical move. So it's old, back when numerical move was the only way. Okay, so yeah. So don't worry about that because it's really not going to come into play. And if it does, then you probably already know about it because it's more advanced stuff. This is basically what I'm saying. Okay, so the other thing we haven't really covered is this green chair is throwing me. I keep thinking it's highlighted. Is we haven't talked about, we just kind of went over it briefly, but moving multiple objects. I guess we did do it really fast, but if you want to select multiple objects, again, you're gonna just click on the first one, and then you're gonna hold down the Alt key to select whatever else, as long as it's not slotted to the parent object, as we talked about before. And then again, like, you could use that dialog box to group them and move them, or you can use this particular method. I think that Sophia was asking about. So I almost never use the dialog box unless I really have to, for some of those like extravagant like tool builds that I've done that, you know, there's just stuff going all over the place. Um, Set grouping box, toggle group will not work on multiple levels. Okay, so that is a situation when the rotation around center for tool update was available for Patreons. I was like super excited. I was like, okay, cool. I can go into my motor, uh, mutant motor vehicle that I made, and I can rotate it because I was like, a part of me wished that I had built it on a diagonal because I thought it would kind of show off better if we moved it 45 degrees rather than looking at it head on. Um, and so I went to try that. I went to select everything. I set the grouping box, and it didn't move properly. And I was like, why? It's because when you select things like that, it will only work on the one level. And in my vehicle, it was actually two levels. If you saw me building it or not, it's two levels, and so that's why it didn't work. Is because I had different objects on different levels, and so I guess I would probably have to do them separately. So that's a good little thing. That's a good little tip, is that it only works if everything is on one level. So I can't think of a situation where you would, unless you're building something sort of really whimsical like that you would have stuff on more than one level that you're trying to use. But just wanted to throw that out there. Let's see. Alt click to remove from group. Okay. So yeah, if you were like, okay, I like where these three chairs are, but I don't want this one anymore, you just hold the Alt down again to take it out of the group. So that's how that works. It's just holding down that Alt button to add or subtract those objects. I'll look into letting it do multiple levels, but in the meantime, Tool doesn't modify the object's level. So if you always place stuff on one floor before moving it with Tool, it's still considered on that one level. Okay, awesome. Yeah, there are times where I do use multiple levels. For example, the situation you gave about, oops, you did a scenario on yours where you put a coffee maker and you wanted it to look like it was on a table. Or was it a coffee maker? Yeah, I was thinking a microwave, but I think it was a table. Oh yeah, the basement trick. Right. So I do this in my build, and you can do it the old-fashioned way, like where you raise it up. This is not going to be the right lot to show this on, so maybe we'll switch lots eventually. But I did want to show you all. So remind me, we're going to do the coffee maker trick. What I did want to show you all, which I haven't tried before, but I'm pretty excited to try, is changing out the windows on apartment lots. I haven't tried this, so we're going to try it. So let's say we want a different door here. I don't like this door that it comes with. Normally, you can't change them, right? But with Tool, you can. So I just open my Tool dialog box, Shift T. I clicked on the door, and then I'm gonna just move it over here, just like any object and how you use Tool. I'm gonna shut my dialog box. I'm going to delete that. We're gonna draw a wall. I actually maybe wouldn't draw a wall. I might use the drag method, but this is how Twisted Mexi showed it on the tutorial. So I think you'll have to use the point and click method since this slot is diagonal. Yeah, that's why I chose this. It's because I was like, I think it's going to be kind of tricky to do. So we're going to use this. We're going to use this one. So there's a few ways to do this. This lot is diagonal like we saw earlier. So I'm going to highlight the door I want to move. Move would be the old way. The old way, as Twisted Mexi says, but this particular lot is diagonal, so it's not going to work the way it should. Normally, like a lot of lots, the lines would line up with the walls, and then it's super easy. But this one, it's going to be a lot harder to do it that way. The other way is to click in the middle of, okay, wait, do I have my, okay, so I clicked in the middle of the wall, like right here. Can you all see that right here? And it jumped the door up to basically where I clicked. So then I just need to elevate it. I'm not sure how much. 3? 3. And it's totally functional now. Let's just make sure. Let's just show you that it's functional. And Nox can use it just like normal. If you change out the windows or doors or whatever on an apartment lot and upload it to the gallery, they do not stay. The only way you're going to be able, if you change out all the apartment windows and everything, the only way you can share it is if you share that the world save, basically. If you share that the whole save that it's been altered in. The other way I was wondering is if I do this, can I drag it into place? Am I late for the lesson? Drew, welcome on in. We have gone over some stuff. We have, but there's still more to come. If you have specific questions, please let me know. We do have Twisted Mexi in the chat right now. I don't know how long he's sticking around, but if any of you have specific questions, let us know. I know the basics. I've been using it for a while now. Okay, so you can drag it into place using that gravity pull, but I think it's just easier to, it's more precise probably to do it like I did the first way. Check dust level. So yeah, it worked that way too. Okay, the other thing I wanted to try out was pulling windows and doors, like the gravity pull. Oh my goodness, Lisa Asantoro1, welcome on in. Welcome to the Blue Jay Band. How are you doing today? Happy Sunday. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so it does work if you want to slide your windows around. Now, I mean, we have free move. I can't remember exactly what it's called, where we can move the windows wherever we want. But on something like an apartment where you can't move them as easily, or you can't move them all at all, you can click on the wall, hold the Alt in the direction so that gravity pull does work by clicking it on a wall too. Cool. I hadn't tried that yet. Oops. Okay, what else do we have to go over? Hide group box, new group box, alter, yep, gravity pull, works on wall objects. can use it on multiple. Okay, so here's another one. I'm trying to think of a scenario that I've struggled with. So you can move multiple objects at once. So we're going to do our Shift T to open it. My net went down. Oh no, Sophia. Bummer. Well, at least you're back. So I'm holding the Alt down again while I click each object to add it to our activated group. And then we're going to use that, we're going to hold Alt down as well to use that gravity pull to pull it wherever I want it. Let's say we're going to pull it up against Nox. Again, I could just click on the floor and get it real close and then just nudge it into place using this Alt click. That works pretty slick. Where I have had issues is when we have more, when they're spread out in a larger scenario. Then the center of it, yeah, it's not, this isn't big enough. It can move a little funnily then, but this is still totally fine. Like, I think they're still close enough that it's not a big deal. So never mind that. Maybe you won't encounter that issue. I have when I'm like moving some landscape, like if I have landscaping plants I want to move and they're kind of different spacing away from each other, the dragging, like, it doesn't feel like I'm moving from the center. I don't even know how to explain it. I was really wishing I could think of an example for it. Like I could show you an example of what I mean. I think that's, okay. We still have, it's break time. Oh my gosh, it's past break time. Normally I take a break every hour. Did you cover cloning already? Nope. We haven't covered scale and we haven't covered cloning. So I'm going to go use the restroom, take a quick break that we missed at our top of the hour, and I will be right back. We're going to show scale and cloning and then a couple of situational things like the basement, the coffee maker basement I referenced earlier. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Just a quick 2-minute break. Now is a great time. If you haven't gotten up this whole time, get up and stretch, shake your knees, do that. Do some self-care, get yourself something to eat or drink, because I'm going to fill up my tea as well, and I will be back in just like 2 minutes, folks. All right. I'll send you off to the apocalypse world with our characters, and I'll be right back. And welcome on back. I hope you all enjoyed that short little break. Thank you for that welcome back, Drew. Appreciate that. All right. And Sarah, thank you. Okay. Scale. We have to do scale. Scaling. I use scaling all the time. This is probably the what's up, Doc? Sophia. Um, you're funny. Scaling is probably the easiest thing to use. I think anybody who uses Tool, this is a great place to start. Definitely. So the scenario happens a lot for me where I'm trying to decorate some shelves and trying to put something on the shelf and it's just not the right size. Okay, let's shut these off for now. Looney Tunes allow. Looney Tunes say folks to like you. Yes, that was actually something um, I started practicing how to do because it's a gender neutral term. And I've talked about we definitely try and be really inclusive in this channel here, and so something that we as a society say super often is, "Hey guys," or "Oh man, why don't you blah blah blah." So we use those sort of gender specific terms just in our everyday expressions, and so I'm trying to retrain myself or be aware of using those gender specific terms. And so that's why I started saying folks, because folks just kind of means everybody. And it's something that feels kind of natural to me. I said folks sometimes anyway. And so I've really tried to make a deliberate effort of trying to do that. So, all right, this is not the most exciting example, but let's say I want to use this menu, and obviously it's not the right. And if I were to use the in-game one, okay, that's not so bad. Um, but the big, right? So here, this is probably a better example. Well, whatever. You get my point. You get my point. If I use the in-game ones, it's not the exact right size that I wanted. It's not the best example. Maybe there's a plant. How are you, friend? Math, welcome on in. Happy Sunday to you. How are you? We are just going over the tool mod. I'm just trying to find a good example. That one was not the best example. But this is where I use it a lot. And I guess I'm trying to find an example that's going to be more dramatic, but I missed you yesterday. Yeah, I had to take the day off. I love using scale for rugs. Oh my gosh, I use it all the time for rugs. Yeah, so basically, I was trying to give you a good example, but scale is pretty easy. We're just going to open our dialog box, scale. So 1 is the default size. So the way that it comes out of the catalog, anything that comes out of the catalog is always going to be 1. Anything less than 1 is going to be smaller, anything greater than 1. So if I want this plant just a teeny tiny bit bigger, but this is the next size up from Maxis. If I wanted that just a teeny tiny bit bigger, I selected it, so it's active, and then I'm going to hit scale, and I'm going to do 1.1. Let's try. So that's perfect, 1.1. what if I wanted it just 1.25? Just a little bit bigger. If I decided, nope, I didn't like it bigger, I really actually wanted it smaller, I'm going to have to go to 0.8. They don't, oops, I didn't have it activated. Scale 0.8. They don't add on to each other. So if you're using the rotate, those numbers add to each other. So if you rotate something 20 and then add another, and then rotate it 20 again, it's going to technically be at 40, right? Does that make sense? If I scale something, it doesn't add on to it. It's always going to be, what's the term? What's the term? It's not additive. It's not additive. I need your help. Can you tell me how to find the shell on the gallery? I wanted to wait so I could build while watching you. More fun for me. Absolute. It's absolute. There you go. Thank you. Yes, my shell is Emily Blue Jay Shell 1, I think. I think. 1 second. Thank you, Sarah. I was just going to do that. There is their link right there to the details. And yes, Emily Blue Jay Shell 1. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate you. Okay, so rugs. I use that all the time with rugs. All the time with rugs. Thank you for that love in chat. Okay. Here's our rug. Let's say it's way too big for me. Or let's say it's not big enough. I want it to go like super close to the edges. It fits the room great. 1 is the default size, always. So it's going to be a little bit bigger to make it a little bit bigger. 1.1 gives us a little bigger in all directions. And then of course I can, if I close this, I can move it exactly where I want it. And it doesn't change the size. Like, you don't lose the size. If you were to size it up and down though, you will. So then you'd have to redo it again. Oh, wait. Am I wrong? It did stay, but it's funky when you size it down. Huh, I didn't know that. I think I've had nightmares about the Sims rug sizes before, right? Oh man, the rug sizes. Tool is a game changer with rugs. It's just a game changer in general, but yeah. And then I wish I had some nice furniture. Yeah, that and the dang coffee tables. Agreed. Yeah, the coffee tables are a little trickier though, but okay. So let's put a light in here again. So let's say I want to use this rug, but look, it literally goes wall to wall. And the next size down in game is this. Well, I want it to be a little bit bigger than that, but like I want it to be halfway. So then again, this is 1. This is a default size, so it's going to be less than 1. I did a lot of shopping today. What kind of shopping? What did you buy? So we are going to scale it to point, because it's less than 1. You don't need to do the negative. You just need to do a decimal point. I'm going to try 0.9. Yeah, that's perfect. And then click on it again to deactivate it, unless you're not done with it. So there's that. Let's get my sticky notes up. Thanks for being kind to me. I love you. I love you. Coffee table, yeah. The darn thing is with coffee tables though is that if you size them down or up, and Sims still use them, then you have floating objects. And I wish that weren't the case, but It is. I got a new gaming set, keyboard, mouse, headphones. I also got school supplies and bed sheets. Oh my gosh. Your coffee floats. Exactly. So that's the downside of shrinking down coffee tables, but they're so darn big. They're so darn big. Math, I'm excited for you. Those things all sound awesome. Plus shopping, like you got to go shopping. Um, okay, and then clone. Cloning. We haven't done cloning. Um, Imagine a mod where all the items are resized to reasonable sizes. Is that right? You mean like telescope, microscope, that kind of stuff? Yeah. Okay, so cloning an object is super easy with Tool. Here's a couch. We're going to just do something super easy as a couch. We're going to activate it, and then you're going to press Shift plus Alt, and then click, and it will duplicate it. So a couch may not seem that exciting, but you can clone debug objects now. I followed you in the gallery, Emily. I did see that I had one new follower. It didn't say who it was, but and you just favorited my shell, I think. So thank you so much for following me there, my friend. Content, we're going to turn on, like I spoke about in the very beginning, I'm going to turn on these two filters because otherwise I won't see any of these objects. Wait, how do you duplicate? Shift plus Alt and then click somewhere different. Or you could click on the same object. So let's say I highlight this, press down Shift and Alt, and then click on it again, and it will duplicate it in the same spot. And there I just click to move it. So, did you get that? 20 by 15 then, so Newcrest it is. It doesn't have to stay on a 20 by 15. You can change it if you want. If you want to put it on a 64 by 64, go for it. I don't remember the rules. Can I add indoor walls and fences for the garden? Yes, you can. The rules. Let's quick pop into the rules just because I don't remember them at this point. Standard shell rules, don't touch the walls. Any height of the wall or foundation. You can replace the walls with fencing or half walls. So basically anything, yeah, if you want to do a half wall or 3/4 wall of the existing walls, that's fine too. Any size lot or lot type, it doesn't have to be residential, it could be any type of lot. You can add a basement, any shape, size, levels, whatever. Decks and balconies are okay as well. No additional outbuildings, no custom content. You can use Tool, any and all packs, no budget, and upload using the hashtag so I can find it. And it's due on the 8th. So not next weekend, but the weekend after. Next weekend, I might not be streaming. It's okay for a fence. Yep, because it's not a full wall, basically. Somebody did ask if they could add like a half wall as a fence. That's fine too, because it's not drawing new walls really. So yes, you're good. Thank you for asking. Next weekend, next Thursday, I get my second vaccine dose, and I anticipate I'm going to feel pretty crummy. So again, I will post on Twitter. I will post on the Discord. If I'm going to be going live or not. But I'm going to tell you now, I highly anticipate it will hit me hard. So don't plan on me streaming next weekend. And if I am fine or it doesn't hit me so hard, then it will be a pleasant surprise for all of us. You are the best. I love you. Thank you, math. Um, all right. So the big thing is with, am I on the right screen? Yes, I am. Is you can clone your debug objects finally. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. Um, I can't even imagine a time where we couldn't clone them at this point. Like, or eyedropper them. I can't even remember when when we couldn't do that. So we're going to open the tool dialog box by doing Shift T. We're going to highlight it. We're going to hold down Alt to select all of them. And then again, to clone things, it's Shift plus Alt at the same time. And then click in the place where you want them to regenerate. So super awesome. The other thing I wanted to go over, please let me know if you have any questions, of course, is this, I think, is the object that Twisted Mexi used in the tutorial, is I thought might be handy if you're building something really funky. Too bad RG isn't here today because I bet he has used this quite a bit and could give us an example. I think Twisted Mexi used a table in this scenario. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate these. The cloning I'm in, that would be handy for landscaping with shrubs. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. Landscaping or doing any rock work that you're doing. Super handy. So I'm going to do this one 15, this one 30, and this one rotate 40. Okay, so these are all at different angles. Oops. And basically, this is a quick way if you're using slottable items, if you want their angles to change. Like let's say I was making some big crazy vehicle that I needed all of them to be at this angle. It will change the angle and it will hold it if you like basically I'm dragging it on and then I'm dragging it off and it still holds that angle. So that's a little kind of building trick that now that I rewatched that video, the Twisted Mexi video, I'm going to be using this definitely. Roofs are definitely dumb. Bring back auto roof math. Giant knife. Where's Elder Jim? Right? He was here last weekend, but I haven't seen him yet today. Okay. Oh, duplicating objects. So my notes again. Exponential cloning, just to be smart about something. If you're like, I use these for landscaping. Like they make a cute little, you know, a border around things like this. And I put my shrubs in there. You know, they look like little bricks. Duplicating is just shift. No. It's not math. Humongous. It was a humongous knife. So let's say I'm going to use a bunch of these. Rather than having to keep pulling one out like you just saw me do, I can like I can put these all out on the lawn if I'm going to use them for landscaping, and I'm going to highlight them all. And I'm going to clone them. If I know I need 100 of them, doesn't it make more sense to add exponential cloning? So I'm hitting Shift plus Alt to clone them. And then doing it this way rather than, oops, I forgot to hit Shift and Alt. So it goes a lot faster rather than if I had just highlighted the 5, repeated the 5, repeated the 5, repeated the 5, repeated. Like it goes a lot faster this way. So that's just kind of a little trick to keep in mind if you're going to be using a lot of an object and want to duplicate it. that's kind of a faster way to do it. Can you just not hold shift as you place one? Yes, you can. Thank you for asking. Yes, you can do that as well in this particular instance. If it's... I'm trying to remember the scenario that Twisted Maxi used it in the video. So yeah, right now I'm just holding shift. Shift cloning on debug items only works when organized debug is on. Okay, there we go. That's why it came up in the, and it won't keep the custom rotations. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. That's why I knew there was a scenario why you brought it up in the tutorial. Okay, so shift cloning on the debug items only works when organized debug is on, and it won't keep the custom rotations. So that is the reason for that. I'm going to write that down in my notes too, so I remember that. Okay, what else have we? We did changing the apartment windows. Okay, so we have to do the basement trick. Yeah, I think that's what we have to do. So we're gonna have Nox travel. Or no, he's gonna have to move. We're gonna just go to a different world. This is for you. Thank you, math. Scale, etc. It won't keep the... Okay, right. So that's why you would use that over just using shift, because shift will give you a duplicate of the option, but it doesn't keep any of the... Like if you've rotated object or scaled an object or anything like that, it wouldn't work there. Thank you. Okay, so we'll go into... I don't do mods, so shift it is. Fair enough, fair enough. This is for people who are using the tool mod, obviously, and build better build by, and or better build by. Thank you for hanging out here, math, though. Even though you don't use the tool mod, I appreciate that. All right. Ladies, can we build a basement? Of course. I love you. Let's see if we have the basement. Hype for math. Thank you, Sarah, for that hype. We can build a basement. Woohoo! I don't really count tool as a mod. I know it is, but it's more of a helping hand. Yeah, I mean, it is a mod in that you have to download it and put it in your game in the mods folder, right? But yeah, I could see how you could argue it's also not a mod. No one needs the mod except the builder, so console and non-mod users can still enjoy your builds, just in case that is why. Right. Yeah, that's what I always say in any of my builds. Like if I do my speed build videos, like I have tool and I use it, but you don't need tool in your game to use my lot. Console players obviously can't have mods. They can use my lot. It doesn't count as CC. Just using the tool mod won't flag it as CC because they're objects that are already in the game. The game recognizes them. They're just rotated in a different way that you normally wouldn't be able to. So I absolutely love that about the tool mod. Yeah, I mean, I don't think people would use it as much if it made everything CC. I think they still would because it's still like an awesome tool for creative reasons, but I think kind of the hugest draw is that like anybody can download my build, or, a build, and it will show correctly, you know. Um, and you don't have to download a bunch of custom content or anything like that. I need the mod for Sims poses. Okay, so you were saying you use it for Sims. You can use Tool on The Sims. I haven't tried that. Or do you use it on the mannequin or like the, you know, the statue that you put the pose in? Is that what you? That's what I bet you mean. Okay. I love that mod too. Yeah. We are going to try the basement trick, and of course this isn't lined up in this house. No, I use it on The Sims. You can toggle them. What? I think you're referring to the pose play mod, right? They are like objects. Holy Hannah, I have never tried that. What is this magic? Oh my gosh. I had no idea. Twisted Maxi says it's not supposed to work. I must have made it work at some point and not realize it. Okay. Well, somebody is utilizing it. Somebody is utilizing it for posing their characters. You're productive. Well, I'm not even questioning that. You are amazing. Yeah, I never thought to do it either, Drew. Like, wow. Maxi doesn't know his own power. Yeah, yeah. Golly. Okay. I don't even know what to. At this point, I don't even know what to say. You have opened all of our eyes, Sophia. We didn't know. Even the maker of the mod didn't know that that was currently active. So that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Mexi's power is like AI. It keeps growing stronger and stronger, and even we know. I do it all the time. Yeah. Well, now we need to conduct nefarious experiments on your sim. Retro. I knew you could, I just not in build mode. People use it to gravity pull pose sims where they want. Okay. But what would we use that? Wait, what would we use that for? So Twister has no idea. Well, he did. Yeah, he did. He just said he did know. But build mode, he didn't know that you could. Well, I don't, unless it's going to interfere with something. I mean, very useful if you make movies in The Sims. Yeah, I could see why. Like, as, yes, I can see why. Okay, I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. My mind is blown. My mind is blown. Let me see if I can get my spam this so it goes all over my screen. Okay, dragging pose sims makes sense. Yeah, exactly. So, for example, let's say I want you're the bestest friend ever. Math, you are so sweet giving out the compliments. I appreciate you. Okay. Oh, that's cool. We could put it on the windowsill even. Okay, now how do we do this? Trying to remember. Oh my goodness, thank you for following, Drew. I appreciate that. Okay. How did you do this? No worries. I like it here. Awesome. Thanks for hanging out here. I appreciate that. So how I use this a lot, I'm trying to remember how Twisted Mexi showed it in the video. How I use this a lot is I will basically what I'm trying to do here is I want the microwave to look like it's sitting on the table. But by layering these two objects, the sim is going to be like, heck no, I can't use that because the table is in the way of the microwave. So what I do is I bring it up from the basement, and I do think I remember Twisted Mexi saying that if you elevate it 3, it will be right as long as, but they might have a, yeah, they're elevated, so that's not going to be quite right. Oops. Shrink the counter. Yeah. So basically what I'm trying to do is get the table, the game thinks it's downstairs, right? Because I put it downstairs and now I'm using tool to move it up, but the game still thinks it's down here. So oops. Option, undo, back, elevate, point. What did I say? There we go. Okay. You can. Sometimes the object footprint is still in the way even if you shrink it. That's a good point. That is a good point. So now I need to go downstairs and what I'm trying to do is, oops, okay, now I've really messed it up. Option, undo. We're gonna just cheat. I'm not gonna bother with trying to line it up. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do, and this counter probably doesn't work. We're gonna scale that. Okay, so now it should, we'll find out here, we'll test it. But basically I have made the counter teeny tiny. I could make it smaller so that we couldn't see it at all. But just for purposes, we're gonna try that. So have a quick meal, breakfast burrito. So she is able, so basically by bringing that table up from the lower level and then shrinking down the counter, like it has to be the microwave, coffee maker, any of those type of appliances have to be slotted to a counter in order for them to work properly, in order for the Sims to be able to interact with them. So by doing this method, you can put it basically on to make it look like it's on most surfaces. Like Twisted Mexi said, sometimes the object footprint will still be in the way. But in this case, I chose an object, the table, that it doesn't interfere with that. So I have used that a lot as well. Yeah, it's great. It is great. Some of those little like building tricks like that. We changed the apartment windows. That's another one that's super awesome. Replacing the desk with an end table. I think that was this. Same would work for a computer. Same scenario for a computer if you, because you have to, I mean, you could put it at a table, but let's say I want my laptop on something else. What do I want my laptop on? So I can't put it on this one. We'll see. I don't know if it has the, if I can use the footprint of this one or not, like if it'll get in the way. Just tweeted a picture of the new rotation indicator if you want to see. Yeah, let's go take a look at that. Over here. Oh, cool. Um, Tool version 2.3 RC2 will be out for Patreons tomorrow, bringing some fixes for the new rotation feature as well as a long requested rotation indicator. Okay, so can y'all see that? Interesting. So you want to explain what's happening here? We have like a clear, looks like a clear, clearer section. Emily, you know that the scene of the Brady Bunch that I recreated, when the child is in bed sticking her tongue out, I used Tool Mod for that too. Toggled the child sim and then placed her on the bed while she was doing a similar animation. Nice. Brighter equals positive. So in this instance, that's interesting. I can't tell. To me, I'm reading it as it going around, like over the top and under the bottom, but maybe it's so the brighter is a positive and then going this way is a negative. That's awesome. Brilliant, Twisted Mexi. Wow. Wow. It would tilt backwards. I mean, it depends on what the circle is. Um, yeah, but so backwards would be like if we did -10, it would look backwards. View it as a gradient. Yeah. Wow. Forward. Yeah, because you said basically everything with a front, the positive numbers will be forward. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Aha. So the gradient. So the more you go toward green, that's positive. Yeah, okay. Yes. 0 is dim, 360 bright. Yes. Awesome. Yeah, it took my brain like a minute to grasp wrap my mind around grasp what that meant. But yeah. Um totally makes sense now. Awesome, awesome, awesome. How do you like, do you have a background in game design? Like, is this just a hobby or did you work on games like prior to, or that's my question. Is that information out there? Do you have like a biography or something on some of your pages? If you do, I probably read it long ago, but I ran into issues that weren't so obvious with arrows and plus and minus indicators, so this was really the only way to go. Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense once my head got wrapped around it. Super awesome. Super awesome. So if y'all aren't following Twisted Maxi, who even are you? Who even are you if you're not following him? Um, I'm a developer, web apps for day job. Only game I've worked on is this one. Really interesting. And no biography, but I'm on podcasts with Spring Sims. I think coming out tomorrow. Oh, great news! Yeah, he's had some really awesome podcasts coming out. So if you all aren't familiar with Spring Sims, Sarah, could you give a shout out for Spring Sims as well? Again, if you don't know Spring Sims, I don't know who you are. But he apparently has a podcast coming out that Twisted Mexi is on. Um, let's see. I think the shout out. Um, twistedmaxi.com will get you all of these mods. Like I said, he's over on. There's a little sample of Spring Sims stream. Definitely go give him a follow too. Lots of fun. Plays The Sims 4 and lots of other games too. It was a lot of fun to do. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I am too. I am too. The following on dev on YouTube called Yander Dev. Uh, I'm not a big fan of the game itself, but I love how he explains the process of making a game. That's fun. Yeah, I'm kind of an intellectually curious person too, so that's the exact type of thing I would like hanging out with, like hanging out and watching or learning about. Totally get why you do that, why you follow. Um, Especially something like this that I am interested in. Um, I I would eat up any information about it. I mean, you all know. If all of you who are regulars know that I know quite a lot about The Sims 4. Um, Even with my poor memory, it's something I do every day or almost every day, and so I feel like it stays in there a little bit better. Um, Thank you, Sarah, for adding that. All those links. I appreciate that. Yeah. So you can follow Twisted Mexi on Twitter. He has a YouTube channel, which he has tutorials out. So he has like the basics of Tool, everything we've covered here. He has tips and tricks, and then a couple of different other videos helping to explain some things. Um, Math, thank you for that love. I appreciate that. Oh, my Streamlabs bot. It hasn't been giving the important messages. Oh, that's so frustrating. The timers. If any of y'all stream and do the timers and like have figured it out really well, like how to make them work, please let me know. Let me know if I could reach out to you because I'm struggling with my timers and getting them to all go through. Do you think the Sims developer used Tool when they're frustrated with their own limitations? I have no idea. Um, I don't think so. I maybe. Maybe Twisted Maxi knows the answer to that, but metal floor in the kitchen definitely. Most fire safe. Yes. If you're making a residential home and there's a kitchen, definitely. I know I've got at least a few fans in there. Yeah, at least. At least a few. And how cool is it? Thank you, Twisted Maxi, for being here today. How cool is it that he's hanging out, helping explain things that I maybe don't explain very well, or helping remind me to do things that are features that I haven't covered. Speaking of, is that everything? Did we cover everything? Um, Move, elevate, rotate, scale. The hiding box, toggling group. I didn't do delete group. I never use that one. Pretty obvious what it means. Snap to train, use grid. Yeah, we did. We pretty much covered it all. Did you cover the fact that some objects don't rotate on all three? No, I didn't. Thank you. So, that's an excellent point. One that is very frustrating to me, but is just the way it is these pillars. These ones in particular. Oh, these drive me frustrated. They drive me frustrated. Because if you're building a build, I want to add these pillars to the outside of here. Oops. I don't know where that one went. Copy. Oh, I have tool open, that's why. That's why things are going funny, because I have my tool open. Tool dialog box. Okay, so these ones, here's a perfect example. They don't line up. Like, they're not facing the same direction. Why? Why don't they face the same direction? So with tool, the one thing I love using tool for is the plaques in the apartments that can't be moved. Same with electric. Oh, yes. I have seen somebody else talk about the fact that you can move the meters and the pipes and everything. You can actually like get rid of them. And so I want to rotate this one. Oops. Cancel. options, undo. Remember I told you all undo, undo, undo if you do something you don't mean to do. And I want it to be the same as the other one. So I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. And it, I swear it's the same. I swear it is. It's because it was on a corner. So pillars are a little weird because if they're on a corner, parts of them disappear, but not really disappear, but they kind of disappear. So, um, so I'm doing math in my head. So is that 270? No. Well, you get the gist. So I would have to play with that and get it to rotate 90. There we go. I got it. Oh, no, I didn't get it. Y'all know what I mean. Let's take some fiddling with. Okay. So for example, we'll just show you down here. So I could rotate them that way, the way that you just saw me do. What am I doing? Okay, so it's highlighted. I can rotate that around however much I want. If I want it 45 degrees, so diagonal, I can do that. If I want whatever angle I want it, I can do it in that direction. But if I say want to rotate something this way, if I want it to, like if I want to tilt it so like it's leaning up against something, this particular object, I can't do that. It just shrinks it. Like you can see that it affected it, but it won't rotate it. So that's one of those objects in the game that won't work on all three rotations. Like Twisted Mexi, or I think it was somebody said plants are often have the same issues. You can rotate, well, some of the plants. Let's do this one. So the same thing, I assume. We're going to highlight that one. We are going to, oops, I was on the right menu. We're going to change that axis to show that we can rotate it this way. And it did rotate that way. But then if I go back to, if I want to tip it for whatever reason, again, let's try that on the diagonal. It just shrinks it. Like I was trying to get it to go diagonal and it didn't. It just shrinks it. So there's a few objects like that that you can't rotate in all the directions, unfortunately. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. So a lot of times it'll be some of the, in the gates section, there's a lot of these sort of like planks types that I would like to rotate. Like I'm using this to create something, and some of them rotate and some of them don't. And I think somebody on the gallery did put together a room of all of the ones that do rotate. I can't remember who it was, but objects have bones that you can't see. The ones that squish were made without those bones. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I have the Sims 4 Studio. I have messed around with that a little bit, so I know what you mean about the bones. Someone did it for Dr. Gluon, if that's what you're thinking of. That is exactly what I'm thinking of. I was in Dr. Gluon's stream and he was like, he was trying to like figure out which ones were and weren't rotatable. And yeah, I think that is where I did hear mention of it. Okay, so let's give these ones a try. I maybe chose. Oops, I don't have anything highlighted. That one works. Okay, maybe all the ones I chose are rotatable ones. That one is not. I think this one is because I just used it. Yeah. So we had some that can, like I said, some that can, some that can't. Yeah. That's the other limitation is like some of the ceiling objects as well, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Twisted Maxi, if you're still here. That's in the bedroom. I was trying to use a fan in one of my builds, and I think I tried to flip it upside down. Retro Lark. Gotta run for a while. Thanks to you and Twisted Mexi for a very informing stream. We'll catch up on the rest later. Thanks for all of this. Thank you, Retro Lark. Thanks so much for hanging out. Have a great rest of your day. Yeah, have a great rest of your day. Yeah, so y'all, the fan didn't turn. Like I was thinking some build I was doing, I wanted the fan to turn upside down. And so that didn't work. So there's a lot of, well, I don't know if a lot is accurate, but there are some objects in the game that you can't rotate every way. Why all the woods different colors? Math. I'll be heading out as well in a sec. Well, that's actually really good timing because I am almost done myself. I do have some errands to run. So another thank you to Twisted Maxi. Yeah, waltzing objects and plants, usually where you run into it. Yep. What wood? Sophia, all the matching wood, like the kitchen cabinets versus the floors versus the pillars, none of the woods match. So I think that's what he's talking about. Yes. Thanks for being here. Yeah, can we get some love, hype, much rejoicing for Twisted Maxi hanging out here? Really appreciate you helping us out, being here today. Really, really appreciate it. It's a little bit like we have a celebrity here, right? Right, y'all? Feeling the celebrity in the room. Had fun. Thank you. I did as well. I did as well. I'm very, I feel very honored that you're hung out with us all here today. You could do exclamation point hype, exclamation point love. Anybody can do that command to send some love and hype at any time if you don't have any emotes, or you could spam any emotes that you do have. All of those are options on this channel. I am not picky when I ask y'all to do that. So thank you. Thank you so much. Look at all that love. Thank you. Thank you all. All right. I do think, does anybody have any questions? Droop, I don't know if you did a typo there. Yeah, there you go. Twisted celebrity. Ooh. This is a family-friendly channel, so we'll just leave it at that. We'll leave it at my strange sounds and face. All right. So let me know if y'all have any questions. I'm going to quick go over my notes just to make sure. I really do think we covered everything, but oh yeah. The thing we didn't cover is if you have Better Build By, which is separate from Tool, it allows you the organized debug. which is what most people are super happy about. So any of the, let me see if I have questions. Yeah. So any of like the kitchen stuff from debug is now in the kitchen area. So any like dishes, silverware, like the coffee bag, anything like that is now in the dishes. All of the plants, the one that I use all the time, is all of the plants are now in with the plants. So like the mother plant from Strangerville is now in the plants because the cow plants, debug cow plants, now in the plants. So that is the organized debug. It is a game changer. You can, as we saw earlier, you can use the eyedropper with it, which there was no way to clone debug items before. You would have to find it every single time. I have a question about moving tables off the lot that have chairs attached to them. The animation for sitting is a little wonky for me. Yeah, so that is because it's a parent object, right? So here's one. Organized debug it's a blessing. It really is. Let me move these out of the way. So let's say I want to move this group of chairs over here, which is not on the lot. So the chairs are all slotted to the table. These bowls of fruit, I think, are as well. So really the only object that tool should accurately move, or could, I guess, is the table, because everything else is attached to the table, right? So we're going to open up our tool, click on it to highlight it. If I do that, everything will move correctly, right? So that's how you would move all of everything that way. The other thing to keep in mind is you need to turn on this snap to terrain in some scenarios. Here, they're both the same level, but let's see, what do I have? Do I have any elevate? Let's say I want a table up here. And I do snap to, I don't know if this is, it looks like it's a clickable area, but I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not. If I had like a hill or some elevated area, I think that might be off the, yeah, that's what, it looked like I could click, but so I don't really, it's all flat terrain here, so I can't really show you exactly what I mean, but make sure you're being mindful of this snap to terrain too, because it can dig into the ground then. Did that answer your question about the tables and chairs? You have to move tables and chairs as like together, or I could see how the animation would be off. Can you have one of those Sims sit there so I can see? Absolutely. So we can see in the dark. Sit. Can you see that, or is it too dark for y'all? It's fine. Okay. Come on, ladies. So did that look right to you? It looked fine to me. What did you think? Did that look fine? What issue are you having? If you owned a restaurant, what type of food would it serve? To any of you who love that question, and haven't answered that question, if that question speaks to you, let me know what type of restaurant you would like to own, or what type of food you would have. Yeah, it looked good. Oh my goodness. Elisa Monster Taro, I am so sorry. I completely butchered that. Thank you for that follow. Welcome on into the Blue Jay band. It looks good. When I did it, my sim snapped from the lot to the table. She didn't walk over to it. Weird. That maybe it was just like a one-time glitch thing. It should work exactly correctly. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think that was probably just like a random glitch because they should interact with all the objects literally the same. Um, let's do this one. Let's move this over here. I don't know if they have fruits and vegetables or anything, but let's have her grill that, grill plantains. Actually not, she is on the lot, so let's make sure she'll do it. She said no. She said no. Shift, tool, toggle, grill. Okay. It must just have been, I don't know why. I don't know what was going on, but mine was actually the fire pit, not a table, so that's why. Let's try that. I mean, we're here. Let's try and puzzle this out while we're at it. Fire pit. Let's take off my debug. Oops, not that one. So like the metal fire pit, or was it a rock one? Like this one, or this one? And then we had chairs around it, I assume. Love from Brazil. Thank you so much for the love. How are you doing today, my friend? Rock fire pit with a log love seat. Okay. Let's just try it with a few different things. So again, these things are slotted to it, so we're going to have to move the parent object. So we're going to toggle that active, and then I think I have my snap to terrain on. Then we're going to click it again to deactivate it. Now, RGR, welcome on in. How are you doing? It's great to see you. Sarah, we do have a special command for RG. It's just RG. Since he doesn't have a Twitch channel, we're going to just give the same shout out for his YouTube channel. RG is here. Is he another celebrity? He is. He is a pretty well-known builder in The Sims. Oh, I forgot to give RetroLark a shout out. Darn. RetroLark was here earlier. I forgot to give her a shout out. So, hi everyone, Emily. I'll write that down. It is in the list. If you still have the link to the list of commands, I can send it to you again. It is in the list. We added it. We have been going over the tool mod. Twisted Maxi has been here almost the entire time. I think he took off now, but helping us out, explaining things that I didn't explain very well, remembering things that I didn't remember to display, that kind of thing. So it's great to see you. We're just testing this specific scenario out to see if... Okay, so I put her back onto the lot because we want to make sure she can not just glitch over to this. Shut the front door. What? Is that what happened to you? Oh, nice. He's a bro. Yes, I know. I know. Oop, I had a feeling I should have checked if it were updated. I'll print out the newest version. I still have the link, but thank you. That is what happened. Yes. That was... Okay, we're going to try that again. I was not ready for that. I totally didn't think that would be a thing. It's not only my game. Ha, the door. Okay, what? So I reset her? and she went back to the position from before. He will release a new update to the public on the 28th. Yes, we talked about that. I have um, the centrifugal, I can't remember what it's called, uh, uh, rotation around center tool version of Tool on the 28th. So that's really exciting. We showed that off a little bit earlier on in the stream. And then he also showed off, well, he didn't show off, but we showed off his post of the, what did he call it? The Twitter post of the rotate object with the color gradient. So pretty excited about that. That's going to really help people figure out which is positive and which is negative to try and rotate things. So very, very exciting that he's added that to the mod as well. Just the work he does is just and just for a hobby too, like I can't believe it. I can't believe it. He's just a game changer. Now you know, by the way, the arrow of the object is facing. Now you know by the way the arrow of the object is facing. Right. So, so right now, like if it has if it has these arrows, that would be the positive direction. But that doesn't work for all of the directions. So the gradient color circle is really going to help in all of the axes. Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. Maybe we'll try nap. Let's try nap rather than sit. She's magic. Okay. That's kind of scary, actually. So we're going to reset her. That time she went right to it. Okay, so what we did, maybe it's just this object. I don't know. Let's try and detach it from the parent. It's kind of amazing. It is. It's kind of, I like finding fun stuff like this. So let's try, oops. Let's try and actually undo. Let's try and add it to this object. Then let's try and add it here. Move the parent object, move this. Okay. Now we're going to try all these different scenarios. Put her back over here. So how was your weekend, Emily? It was great. Yesterday I took the day off from streaming. Okay, so that time she walked to it. It's just floating on its own, like it's not attached to anything. So that's interesting. Yesterday I moved a couch, so my arms and my shoulders and stuff are pretty sore today, but still can stream with sore arms and shoulders. I literally am only like moving my hand basically. I mowed the lawn on Thursday and really overdid it. It's the first time I mowed the lawn all year, so I had to clean up all the sticks and, you know, dog stuff from the winter and you know, the first mow takes a little bit more work than the rest of the mows. And so yesterday I was really sore. I just needed to kind of lay low. So I had a nice self-care day yesterday, and the day and Friday as well, just because after that I was done. But I'm in a really good mood. It's been a really good weekend. I missed you all yesterday. I really did. How about you? How about everyone? Are you having a great weekend? I hope you're having a great weekend. My hand's also not working great at the moment. Oh no, RG. That's not good to hear. What happened? If you want to share, don't feel like you have to, but Love a good self-care day. Yeah, I needed it. I took Friday and Saturday. Well, Friday wasn't enough. I was actually more sore yesterday than Friday. Um, and being in pain takes a lot of energy out of you. Uh, so, you know, watch some movies. I watched some good movies. Um, I don't know if they're good movies, but I enjoyed them. Let's put it that way. Bench press. Um, 100 pounds. Oof. Oof. I did the conversion for y'all because I don't know what that meant. So it means about 100 pounds. Could it also be from the vaccine, your sore arm? No, that's been over with. I'm due to get the second, so that actually brings me as long as you're all here, or whoever is here. Next weekend, I get the vaccine on my second dose on Thursday. I anticipate being not feeling too good from it. So I probably won't stream next weekend unless I am blessed and don't have many side effects. Then that will be a happy surprise for us all. So I'm going to preemptively say no stream next weekend unless I'm feeling okay. And I'm going to hope to feel okay, but I'm going to prepare for the worst, hope for the best, kind of thing. Hard to build with those hands, but work is work. Yeah. Let's hope you will feel good after it. Yeah. Well, I'll feel good in that I will be fully vaccinated. Um, and the effects will be in place in like 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks from now, well, 2 weeks from Thursday, I'll be fully vaccinated and can and can mingle with reckless abandonment with other people who have been fully vaccinated. So I'm pretty excited about that. I will feel good about that. My anxiety will be less about that. So yeah, feel good as in feel normal. Yeah, I mean, I hope so too. I hope so too. The first shot was really easy for me. My arm hurt really bad, but I could tell it was just effects of the shot, and it's a it is a, it's a pain that I can deal with. Like, I deal with pain every day, so um, I think my attitude too. I'm like, I know the pain is for a good reason. I know the pain is temporary. That's also very, like, I can get myself through a lot because it's temporary. It's temporary. It's temporary. Um, so you're still going to be vaccine. Loyal Kitty, hi, welcome on in. How are you today? Um, Happy Sunday to you. The vaccine. So you're still going to. So yeah, I get my second vaccine dose on this coming Thursday. Oh, the other side effect. The side effect was a really sore arm. I got it in my left arm and I'm right handed. So I did that on purpose. And then um, my ability to control my hot and cold. So I would get really hot feeling and then really cold feeling very rapidly. I have that every day anyway. That's part of um, dysautonomia. My body doesn't regulate its temperature very well. I have that diagnosis, but the shot made it really worse. And I'm hearing a lot of people have that side effect, even if they don't have um, that diagnosis. So I think that's, I think it's the Pfizer. I got the Pfizer vaccine. That's what we're doing in my area. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. It's going to be a big week. Um, so yeah, so stream is, let's say it's up in the air. I'm not canceling it officially. I will post um, if it's on or off. Either way, I will post on my Twitter, on my Discord, um, to let y'all know how I'm doing and if we're going to be having stream or not. I will definitely keep you all posted. I don't know what we're going to do next weekend or the weekend after, but we'll figure that out. Thank you, Sarah, for posting those socials. Oh, Sophia, no crying. Just cross your fingers for me. Cross your fingers that everything's well and I'll feel up to streaming and We can hang out. Math, thank you for that love. How is your house going? Or your shell going, Math? Are you making progress? Is it a tricky shell? I haven't heard too much feedback about. I wanted to make it easy. Super good. I wanted to make it not easy, but I wanted to make it not too hard for y'all. It's a first shell. We're not gonna like do any weird angles or make like where roofing would be a nightmare. So yeah, I purposely tried to make it. I made it with my standard style. Nice, nice. I'm really looking forward to that. Oh yeah, so next weekend it may or may not be canceled. The weekend after that will be our shell tours. So it's the 8th, the following weekend. So that's what we'll be doing that weekend. And I will be here unless I'm like vomiting. I will be there to do shell tower tours. For those of you who don't know anything about the shell, there are the details. You can find it on the gallery. All the standard rules apply. Yeah, yeah. Fingers crossed. Thank you, Sophia, for crossing those fingers. We kind of had a little abnormal stream today with the breaks. That's okay. I love your headset. Thank you. Thank you, loyal kitty. I appreciate that. Um, Sometimes people come in here, and they haven't done it in a while, but when I first started, people would come in here and nice headphones. Those are dorky. I wanted these headphones. Like, yeah, I wanted these headphones. I like them. I like them. I like pink. I like cat ears. My computer is pink. I got them to match my computer. Um, and it lights up. And it lights up. I don't know if you can see it real well, but it lights up the color of your Sims. So right now I'm on a green sim, or blue, so it should probably be showing blue. They're both blue right now, but the color in the headphones changes with the sim you're on and their mood. How cool is that? I love cats, so I approve of kitty ears. Nice. Yes. How do I upload the house? So you're gonna, whenever you're finished with it, you just want to make sure you use the hashtag um, Emily Blue Jay Shell 1. And that way I can find it. I'm going to search that hashtag in our, when we're doing the stream. Let me see. So use that hashtag right there. Make sure that is in your description. And then when I search the gallery, any of the houses that have that hashtag, I will be able to find. Sarah's on it. I appreciate you, Sarah. Get a shout out for Sarah as well. Our mod here. Love and appreciation for Sarah. She is a creative builder herself, talented streamer. She is like one of my favorite people. She also streams. So go if you haven't already, I say this every stream and I will keep saying it every stream. Go give her a follow too. She does pop up streams. She doesn't have a schedule. But if you go over and follow her and turn on those notifications, you will get a notification when she goes live. I always retweet her going live tweets on my Twitter as well. So definitely, you're one of my favorite humans too. Thank you, Sarah. So much love. Thank you, everybody, for that love for Sarah. Yeah. All right. Okay. So she did that fine. Let's try and do this one that is slotted again. Okay. Try it again. So I wonder. Oh, reset her. Reset. Go here. Now let's try this different bench. See if it happens with this one. Okay. Okay. that one worked fine. What an interesting experiment. Sophia, thank you for that love to Sarah as well. Humans. I like that. Okay, let's try this green one. Yeah, she walked to the green one too. Let's try this one. Okay, so it's something to do with I wonder if it's something to do with choosing a side to sit on, you know, when they shuffle across it. Okay, I hadn't thought of that. The mystery power of the tool. Yeah. Okay, so she is. How about I have now. What if we make her friend sit next to her? Since she's already sitting there, will it happen? Okay, so it's not specific to the side. Oh, that's her wife? Okay. I haven't ever played this family. Um, have you ever tried Michael Myers mode on Sims 4? No, I don't know. Um, what's that? Is it a mod you mean? Build a full park outside of a lot. I placed a coat in the bedroom just to make it scarier. Math. You and you're scary. Um, build a full park outside of a lot. That's what I just don't like. They sat in this one fine. That's not tied to the fireplace, but when it's tied to a fireplace, either side, it's yeah. So, Drew, I think it's just a random glitch. Like, I don't, I don't think there's any other way we could test it. Um, unless you on this same lot because that would be one other variable, but Mike Myers is a killer from a horror movie, so I don't like how it sounds. Yes, I know. Um, which one is it? Uh, no, I was in Strangerville. Yeah, so it's not even the same lot we're working on. It's just one of those weird. I don't know if it has to do with tool or has to do with this object or the fireplace, but it seems like the other ones work fine. Interesting little thing that happens though. Halloween, I think. Yeah, Halloween. I've seen all of like Friday the 13th, um, Halloween. What are the other ones? I can't even think of other ones. I've seen them all a while back, but um, so yeah, I haven't played that mod. I assume it's a serial killer mod then. I did have, I did play with Extreme Violence mod by Sacrificial. Nightmare on Elm Street. That was the other name I was looking for. Friday the 13th literally has nothing to do with the name. Well, um, uh, what? My brain. I totally forgot what I was saying. Um, oh, the extreme violence. I didn't. It's too much for my anxiety. I don't like surprise. The reason I play The Sims is because I can control every little thing. Um, like when I play previous games, like Sims 2, Sims 3, where more random stuff happened, it was harder on my anxiety because, all of a sudden, like you'll be pickpocketed, or all of a sudden you'll hear like the burglar alarm go off, and you're like, oh, forgot to put a burglar alarm, or I forgot to lock my door, or whatever it was. Thank you for testing that. Sorry it took so long. No, that's all right. We were chatting in between. Thank you for having patience. Freddy Krueger is from Elm Street. Yep, I watched them all. All those 80 yeah, all those 80 movies long ago. I watched them long ago. I think after this movie came out, there was probably a massive decline of demand for real estate that located actual streets called the Elm. Maybe, maybe. All right, so sounds like you all either understood Tool or at least understood what I explained. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed today's stream with going over Tool. My brain mostly was able to keep up with doing it. You definitely can ask, like I said at the top of the stream. Feel free to ask me if you have any questions. Twisted Mexi, like he's on Twitter. He has a Discord. Um, you can find a lot of the answers there. Ask him there. For me, the biggest tool revelation was being able to tool a sim, right? Who knew? Who knew? Can I do it here? Tool, toggle. Yeah, doesn't work. It doesn't work quite as slick in math. Are you done with your lot already? Oh, she's not on the lot. What? Is it because she's slotted to the chair? Huh. Go here. Oh man. Now I can't do it. How did we do it before? I'm a fast builder. I don't mess with mods or debug, so it's much faster. Also a minimalist build, so even scarier. Feeling a lot more confident in it now. Thank you so much for diving into this mod for us. Okay. Yeah, it's not, it won't let me grab her now. Weird. It was working before. Even Twisted Maxi saw it. I think she's had enough of being tormented. Tormented. Yes. I do think, yes. All right. So, with that, I think we are gonna, it's not quite top of the hour, but we are gonna still end up calling it here. Oh my gosh, I didn't get any gambles in today. And I lost. For those of you who want to get your gambles in, we are going to go on a raid here. So get your gambles in. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Let's see who we are going to. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I like to raid other simmers. That's for sure. Just to give you a heads up. Sarah, GG winning that to 20,000 birdseed. Holy Hannah. Well, it was nice to find your channel. Thank you for the tutorial. I'll try and pop by another time. Awesome. Yeah, it was great to meet you. All right. Yes. Well, let's see here. Now, I always try to give the warning. Whoever we raid may or may not be family friendly, so I don't necessarily know what we're walking into. Sometimes I know the people, but I also try and pick people that I don't know, just kind of networking, supporting people who don't have as many viewers as well. So let me. You also get channel points for coming along. Yeah, if you just stay put, all you have to do is stay put. You get channel points for coming along. We are going to basically, I'm gonna bump us on over to another stream. We're gonna share our love over there, share the raid, um, just to show the support from this community. I really appreciate if you would come along and show that support, show that love. Just looking for somebody who we are gonna raid. So just give me a second, y'all. I think I found somebody. I also am just referencing my, yeah, okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. We're going to Chan Cakes TV. Like I said, I don't know if she is family friendly or not. So be warned. But let's go on over there and share our love. We're going to copy and paste this raid message. Show her that the Blue Jay band is flying on in there. And thank you all. Thank you all for being here today, learning about the tool mod. It was great to hang out with you. I was so bummed that I couldn't yesterday, but love to you. Thank you, Math, for that love. But I'm glad to be here today. I hope to be feeling well next weekend. Again, just keep eye on the Twitter, the Discord. I will let you know if I'm feeling up to streaming next weekend after my shot. Either way, I will let you know. Thank you all. Let's go share the love on over there. And with that, please feel better and keep rocking those kitty ears. Thank you, Drew. I appreciate that so much. Have a great rest of your week, everyone. Yeah, let's go show the love there. Let's go show the love. Bye, everyone. Take care.